supposed to sit here and tell you what I was doing on June 8th, 3 years ago. That don't even make sense. I can't tell you what I was doing June 8th this year, and I know I was in prison. I can't tell you what I was walking around here doing on June 8th. Okay. And that was 3 months ago.
This is Paul White, a man who's gotten away with murder for years and is convinced police will never catch him. On the morning of June 8, 2007, employees arrive at an insurance office in St. Charles, Missouri, and walk right into a real-life murder mystery. The owner of the company, 48-year-old Bob Eidman, is dead inside the building. He has been shot multiple times. Investigators quickly determined that Bob was robbed before he was killed, but question if this was staged to cover up a deeply personal murder. Police look at Bob's widow, whose father had been mysteriously murdered years earlier, but she swears she had nothing to do with her husband's shooting. Then investigators discover Bob had a secret gay relationship. They conduct a polygraph with Bob's lover, but with no solid evidence against any of their suspects, the case goes cold. Then, years later, advances in forensic DNA testing breathe new life into this twisted true crime case. DNA recovered from Bob's clothing matches 33-year-old Paul White, a man who had never been on detectives' radar and who is now serving a prison sentence for an unrelated forgery conviction. Detectives traveled to the prison to conduct a formal police interrogation with Paul. But if Paul is the killer, what was his motive? Was this a case of fatal attraction, a murder for hire, or could the most obvious motive be the key to cracking the case?
First of all, do you know a guy named Robert Eidman? Never heard of that guy? Okay. I hate not being in my own office because everything's in disarray. Does this guy look familiar? Never seen him before? I got another picture of him too. Same guy. Is he looking any different?
Yeah.
I just want you to see the other person on the other side. Kind of familiar?
A little bit. Like,
Okay. You and your wife, when you lived in St. Charles, did you have a vehicle?
My car.
Yeah, my car. What did your wife have?
Jeep and then a Malibu.
Okay. She had a Malibu. Did you guys have insurance?
Yeah.
Okay. Who'd you have insurance through?
Through a place up on First Capitol. I forgot the name of the place.
Was it American
It's right
Family?
there, like, I don't think it's American. It was like right there off the corner by the highway.
On First Capitol by the highway?
Yeah.
Okay. If I told you the name of the place, would it help?
Probably.
Brooks Insurance?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anybody that has a silver or gray colored Ford Focus? No. Yeah, Ford Focus.
I don't even ask them.
All right. While you're out and about, the last couple of years?
Yeah, my friend had one.
Your friend?
Yeah.
Who's your friend?
Cleo.
Cleo? Is he a family member or is he a friend or is he?
He's a friend, but he's kind of like family from Sherry. Well, Sherry's stepsister. He has kids by her stepsister or something like that.
Wait a minute. Sherry's stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen Sherry's stepsister?
He has kids by her.
Okay. So he has kids. Cleo Hines has kids through Sherry's stepsister. Do you know what the stepsister's name is?
Mindy.
Okay. What did you say?
Mindy.
Mindy?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know her last name. Where's she living at?
She was living with us, but then she, I don't know, I think in Illinois somewhere.
How good of friends are you and Cleo?
I mean, I just met him when I got out. We were kind of hanging out sometimes, because he would come over there, or he would be over there when Mindy was over there and stuff like that. We would hang out with just someone I met back then.
When was the last time you talked to Cleo?
Probably like 08.
And you met him in 06?
Yeah.
So you knew him about roughly a year or two?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know back in the day, back in the day when you got arrested the first time for your DOC, I guess when you probably first arrested, you got arrested, that was for an armed robbery. Was that a kid thing? Was that a dope thing? What was that all about?
Just a dumb decision as a kid. Just I
'Cause
was
you were-
with
you were-
another
you-
guy, and we were basically just did some dumb stuff, and then like when we ended up getting caught, and we both went to court. He ended up getting 5 years probation, and I ended up getting 15 years because my mom couldn't afford a lawyer.
Is that what the difference was? He had an attorney and you didn't? Did you have a public defender?
Yeah.
And now, at that time, did that kid stay in the car or did he go in with you?
He went out with me.
Did he go in with you? Do you have any idea why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys had insurance through Brooks Insurance, do you remember how you guys would make payments to them?
Like a credit card.
You put on a credit card?
Yeah.
Now, would you go in and present the credit card to him?
I think he just did it like over the computer or something. I don't know.
Or would you be there while he did, or would you do it over? Would you call him up and say,
I only went like one time, like when she first got insurance, and like we went in there, and it was, I think it was when she first got her Malibu up, or it might have been, I don't remember which car it was on, but we went in there one time, and it was like on the credit card, I'm sure, and that was that.
all right, so just, I mean, you're throwing a lot at me right there. You went in there one time when you first got it.
When we first went in there, like we went in there when she needed insurance for a car or something because she was getting it inspected, I want to say, or if it was a new car. I don't remember which car it was on, is it the Jeep or the Malibu. But we went in there and he gave her insurance on the car. And like, that was the only time we ever, I mean, she paid with a credit card, I want to say. That was the only time we ever went in, unless, that's the only time I ever went in there with her. She might have won again or something, I don't know.
Okay, but you only went in there one time.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how you got there?
We drove up there.
Right. Do you in the Malibu that you just bought?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was on the Jeep or the Malibu. It was back in like 06 maybe, 07.
Okay. Okay. So that was my next question. You said when you first got the car, when you first got out of Department of Corrections, you probably got a car and needed insurance.
Yeah, when I first got my car, I never thinking insurance on it.
So it's kind of hard to start over when you first get out.
Yeah, I never got insurance on my car.
Okay. So how long was it before you did get insurance?
On the what happened?
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, I could care less if you drive around without insurance.
Right.
I could care less about that. I'm just trying to get a time frame of like when you think you were at the insurance office.
I would say between. I would say between November 06 and maybe March of 07 or something like that. I don't remember exactly when she got the Malibu.
Okay, I mean, and that's good. I mean, you give me a time frame and you bracket it. I couldn't tell you 100% what I did November 06 to March 07. I mean, couldn't really do it. Unless I did the same thing. I'd have somebody ask me certain things. Was it like before Christmas, after Christmas? Was it around Valentine's Day? Was it warm outside? You can't remember any of that. So when you went to the insurance company, it was you and your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I mean that's kind of family business. That's the kind of thing you would do. Could have been any later than March of 06, March of 07.
I don't remember. Honestly, I mean, she could probably tell you better than me because I don't remember exactly when. I think it if she can like pull out the day our insurance started, then maybe she will know.
Okay. You guys on good terms? I know you're divorced. I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
We talk every once in a while.
Okay. But I mean, if she see you walking down the street, she would chase after you with a cleaver.
Nah, nah.
Right. And she's not, you got little Paul White voodoo dolls in the house and sticking
I
full
don't
of
think
pins.
so. I hope not.
Okay. So when was the last time you talked to her?
Probably like a week and a half ago.
And I'm assuming you have to call her because you can't call it here. Does she write?
Nah, she used to, but not anymore.
Kind of moved on.
Mm-hmm.
She do the papers because you get sent back here, or was that in the works before you even?
It was kind of the worst before I got back because we were on bad terms. Like, she knew I was kind of cheating on her a little bit, and it kind of.
Yeah, I kind of seen the police report in St. Charles where she's seeing your picture with Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that damn Facebook, man. So, who was the chick that was in that picture?
It's a girl named Ashley from St. Peter's or St. Charles. Out there by the jungle or something.
You still talking to her?
Not for real.
For real. So, what I mean, going from, going to DOC when you're a young kid, doing a robbery, getting out, and then you're back for forgeries. I mean, that's kind of a change of path. I mean, you're kind of a grown man now. What forgeries need money?
It was just something stupid, man. Like, this girl, she had some checks, and I went up to a couple of snooks and wrote a couple of checks for cash back, just stupid, and ended up getting some time for it.
Were you doing it just for the money, or did you have a drug problem, or what?
No, I've never been on drugs. It was just basically for the money, just something stupid.
The economy's rough. Gas is $3 a gallon some places, you know? That's what it is. Besides the gun in Florissant, are you a gun guy?
Not for real.
Well, not for real, and yes,
I mean,
two different things.
No.
So, and I ain't trying to violate your parole because you're already here, okay? I mean, there's nothing I can do. What was the last gun you touched?
What was the last gun I touched? Probably like a 25. It's been a while though.
Glock 25 or 25 caliber?
Just a little 25.
Okay. We just shooting it, playing with it?
It didn't even shoot. It was just someone that gave it to me, and I had it for maybe like a week, and then I got rid of it.
Now, why would you carry a gun that don't shoot?
Cause when I went to his house, like this guy I know went to his house and gave it to me, and I was like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "Nothing. It shoots sometimes, and then it doesn't." You know what I'm saying? I've never shot it. So like, when I showed Sherry at one time, and she was like, "Get rid of it, whatever." So I gave it to her brother, and he got rid of it somehow. I think he threw it over a bridge or something. I don't remember.
Okay. And Sherry knows being on parole, that's probably not a good thing for you to be doing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've all done stupid like that. My thing is, how good of a friend is this going to give you a gun that sometimes shoots and sometimes don't shoot?
I think he gave it to me. He gave it to me to get rid of it because he was like, I went to his mom's house one time, and he was over there, and he was like, "Man, get rid of this for me." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "I don't know." He said he had it in his garage for like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Just get rid of it for me." So I'm like, "All right." So I took it. I had it for like a week, and then I get rid of it.
Who was that friend?
A guy named Jerry. He lives out in Ferguson.
White guy or black guy?
Black guy.
So I'll just make sure if I ever get a gun from a guy named Jerry living in Ferguson, that works first. One of the things that I'm investigating is a DNA case. Okay.
The DNA.
A DNA case. You know, there's fingerprint cases and there's DNA cases.
Okay.
And you've told me you've been in Eidman's office before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that being said, it'd be like walking in this office right here. You've been in here, your DNA should be in this office. You know, did you know the average American male loses 14 pubic hairs through his pants leg a day? Did you know that? Well, when they do that, if I'd come in here and vacuum up the floor and find a hair, well, then I sent it to the lab for DNA. That DNA from that hair is going to come back to being Paul White's, because of the DNA that we've got from Department of Corrections would match up to it. Right? Makes sense? Now, if you had told me you'd never been in this office before, and I've got one of your pubic hairs that fell through your pants leg, well, then it'd be a little bit of a problem. Agree? Right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Being an inmate here at Department of Corrections, they take your DNA when you get in here first,
Yeah,
right?
I took it a couple of years ago.
Okay. That being said, I'm going to ask you for a copy of your DNA that I witnessed taking, like I do for everybody else that I've done in this case. You have every right to refuse it. I can't make you do it. But we both know that your DNA is in the system. So unless you know how some formula to plan on how to change it, you know,
Why would I
I
change
mean,
my DNA?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, and I'm not going to twist your arm and make it. I am going to ask you for a sample of your DNA if that'd be all right with you. And you'll sit right there. You did it before. I'm sure you probably did the buccal swab method in your mouth, brush your gums, put it in a box, and there it is.
What was it for, though?
It's for an investigation in St. Charles, and it's a robbery. Okay. You got any problem with that? I mean, you're sitting there thinking.
Never. When did the robbery happen?
In 07. You were out and about. I checked my times on that one. So you were out at the time. Today is the 27th still.
Who got robbed?
Robert Eidman, the guy that showed you that picture.
By the way, that clock doesn't work.
I noticed that.
Okay. So we'll make sure you
I
don't
was
write
gonna
that
say,
again.
I'm not gonna argue that again. It's ticking right away though. All right, Paul. It says, I, Paul C. White, hereby consent and agree that officers for St. Charles Police, as being me and my partner, a law enforcement agency, may take samples of mine. It says buccal swab, and it's going to be an oral buccal swab. That means your mouth. If you put your initials there, saying you understand that, and then this consent is given freely and voluntarily. I have not been threatened, and no promise has been made to me to obtain my consent. This testing may be used for comparison testing and in court. Signature, address, city, date of birth. And you know what? I tell people this all the time. My job is being a police officer. I know every guy sees TV. They think I'm just trying to put people in prison. My job is listen. My job is to prove people innocent too. DNA can prove you innocent just like it can prove you guilty, correct?
Okay.
I mean, you're telling me the time period you're there. I do have DNA in this case. Okay. That being said, I'm going to compare it to and I'll explain this to you in a few minutes after this. I got to stage my mind out and do this with everybody else. I'd like to do it the same way with you so I don't leave anything out. It will be compared to the DNA we have. And if what you're telling me is the truth, dude, it was nice meeting you. Go about your way. I hope you good luck on your next parole. You know, it's up to you. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to threaten you or beat you to get this. It's already in the Department of Corrections.
So if it was like, if you were trying to, I don't understand if it was already in the Department of Corrections, why didn't you just?
Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send everything at the same time. Okay? Instead of, when I get all these samples, I'm not going to say, here's one. Here, it's like cutting down a tree. Here's a branch. Here's a branch. I'm going to send it all at once for lab guys don't get everything mixed up. Paul, I'm not going to twist
That don't make sense though. You know what I mean? It's not making sense to me.
It's the way it is. I mean, it's.
And that we take it.
Huh?
That we do it here. That we see you do it. You know, and we're not discounting what DOC
That way I
does,
can't-
but we're not part of DOC.
All right, and that way I can say, if it comes back saying it's not you, I can say, Your Honor, I watched Paul White give sample number 532-698, whatever that number is, which that's not the number, it's just the number I'm spewing out. Saying I personally watched him, I signed the box, I put it in an envelope, it went to the lab. It's not somebody else's DNA.
Okay, well my question is why am I being asked
Why?
for them? Yeah.
Because your name, what I've done is you have insurance through this man. Okay. This happened where he works. Okay. I've went down the entire list of people that have business with him. Okay. That have been in the office, have had dealings with him one way or the other. Okay. Now, people that are out and about in St. Charles, they're a little bit harder for me to get to. I have to go, 2 o'clock in the morning, they might be working at some place, or 6 o'clock in the morning, they're over here. You, my friend, you're in a very stagnant location, okay?
Right.
I can come to you anytime I want it. So I didn't have to hunt you down. So that's why you're asking why are they doing this now?
I mean, that's
Why?
one
I
argument
don't
asking me to do it though.
because you're telling me in front of my partner here, you have been in the office.
Right.
And I'm telling you I have DNA from the office.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking you. It'd be like if you spit on the floor right here and walked out, well, you're telling me you're in the office and you spit on the floor. Your DNA's there. I'm going to compare the DNA that I got out of your mouth to what's there.
So, because I've been in this office,
Mhm.
and you're saying that you want to take my DNA because I've been in this office before.
Well, and that I have DNA from the crime scene.
Oh,
Okay.
There's been a lot of people in this office.
Right. It's a business.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd expect people to come in and out of business, right?
yeah, but that just don't seem.
Listen, I don't know anything about building pump spray bottles at Continental. I don't know a thing about it. So if you told me something, and I'd sit here and go, dude, that doesn't make sense to me. It wouldn't make sense to me. I've been doing this for 17 years.
Okay.
Okay? It makes sense to me, it makes sense to him, it makes sense to my boss. That's the way we do things.
What part don't you understand?
It's okay. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, but it's like just why.
How do you think the people that aren't in prison, that I go knock on their door, think about the same thing? I asked them the same thing. They're just Joe Blow getting insurance through what they think is a cheap insurance broker.
Or when we show up at their work and say, hey, here's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So y'all asked Sherry for her DNA too?
She will have her DNA being taken. She still works at the convenient place, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've done a little bit of homework on this.
Okay, so I don't.
If you don't want to, I mean, that's fine. Paul, you tell me you don't want to?
I don't think that don't even sound right. I
Well,
just don't understand it. I mean,
That's fine. I'll just write refused on it, and I'll put it back in the file. And if it comes back that nobody got back, I'll just have to revisit this. Do you think there's any chance that your DNA is going to pop up inside that crime scene?
in a robbery.
In a robbery? None?
No.
Do you think it would be popping up for any other reason? If I said it was a burglary, you just said robbery, would that bother you anymore if it was a burglary or an assault or a forgery or?
A forgery. I mean, why would it pop up?
That's why I'm asking you. I mean, you have every right to refuse that. I'm not going to twist anything. I'm just kind of wondering why, especially since you know your DNA is already in the system.
That's what I'm saying. So if it was like already in the system, why would you even ask to? That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense.
Well, it's one of those things, sometimes we ask people for stuff we already have to see. It's kind of like me asking you what's your name. If you're on the street and I know your name, I want to see if you're being honest with me.
Right.
Kind of sometimes how you gauge people by their level of integrity and honesty.
But I mean, I understand that, but it's like it just don't make sense because if I wanted something that I already know You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a
it's
system.
not, it's like, why, it's like, why are you,
Because they have to have something to compare it to, that the lab does. They can't just take this sample and it's got to be a confirmed source. Meaning, how best to explain this to you? They want the samples of, they want us to provide the samples to them relative to this
who is
case.
they?
The lab,
The
the
scientists.
DNA guys. Okay, like he said, he submits all these at one time. Okay, then they run those to match to the DNA which was found at the crime scene. Does that make? I'm not. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it makes
Okay, it
sense,
doesn't-
but it-
I understand it's already in the system. That's not the point. Just kind of eliminate that. We know that it's there. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands there from DOC inmates, right? They want the samples that we take to match to what they have currently. I don't know how to explain it any other than that.
Hey, Paul, who were you working for in the spring of 07?
in the spring of 07,
April, May, June, that time frame.
the McDonald's off of Harvester.
Okay. You working at 2 McDonald's at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the one on Cave Springs.
Okay. And primary day shift, weren't you? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I worked from like 5 to 1 or 2, and then the other one I would go from like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 to close.
So you worked at McDonald's at Harvester, McDonald's at
Cave Springs.
Cave Springs.
And at one point I was working at the one on Duchenne.
Right. Did you also worked at the one in St. Peter's at
Oh, on Jungle Man. But
Jungle.
that was like in, oh wait, I should say.
so that time frame you were working all 3 of them?
I would say the first one I worked at was Duchenne, and that lasted.
We also worked at one in Howard Shell too, if I remember right.
That was like
Long
some
time
years ago.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I worked at the one on Duchenne first, and then I left there, went to Harvester, and I was working at Harvester and Cave Springs at the same time. Then I left there, went to Continental Sprayers, and then I left there and went to Jungle Man.
Okay, so April, May, June 07, you were working at all 3 of those, or do you remember?
I started in Harvester about maybe March of 07, I'd say. March. Probably from like March to maybe September or August.
March to September?
March,
07?
yeah, maybe from March to September, August or something.
And which store was that?
The Harvester.
Oh,
They're
Harvester.
just like right off of Harvester, next to like a Goodwill or something.
Yeah, I know where it's at. And that was your primary McDonald's?
Yeah, that was my daytime McDonald's, and then I would work at the Cave Springs at night.
Did you have a pretty much set schedule at that one?
Yeah,
What days would you work in there?
it would be any 5 days. You know what I mean? It wasn't, your off days would change every week, and then it would.
So some days you could be off Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Some days you could
Gonna
be
be
off
off.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Some days you can be off on Monday and then a Saturday. It doesn't.
Oh, they break up your days like that?
Yeah,
That
they would
sounds.
do. I know, but it's just.
Oh, you gotta
It's
adjust
just
it.
on availability, I guess.
Right. Okay. Huh. So sometimes you could be off on a Friday, or you could be off on a Monday, or you could be off. It just didn't matter.
Right.
Whatever they needed,
Right.
whatever was best
Whatever
suited for
your,
McDonald's.
whatever your schedule is up there, that's what you have to work.
Okay. Have you ever, And I'm gonna ask you right away, have you done any robberies since your last robbery that you got caught in O'Fallon or Florissant?
And no Fallon?
I'm sorry, I meant
Oh,
Florissant.
no.
That's the big joke, Florissant. Florissant and O'Fallon's the same thing.
No.
You have it?
I haven't done any robberies.
And have you ever possessed a Glock? Would anybody that you hang out with say differently?
No.
I've read a lot of the police reports that you got busted with. And I want to tell you one thing that I've always noticed about all the police reports. If somebody came up to you and they just had a hunch that you did something, you might have did it or didn't do it, I don't care. But I'm just saying if the cop just had a hunch that you did it, you would not say that you did it.
Okay.
But I can tell you this, every police report I read that had evidence, and they showed you that they had evidence, you confessed to those. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as long as I've done this, and I understand, you know, what you're saying there. I mean, if anybody and their brother can come up and say, we got video of you doing this, or we've got, you know, your fingerprint on this coffee mug that was in a burglary. I mean, I can understand somebody, you know, do cops lie? Yeah, cops lie. Okay? I'll tell you that. Is it illegal for a cop to lie? No. It's not illegal. Cops can lie all day to any interview if they want to. The Supreme Court says we can't. But I also know this. Being as long as I've done this, I know that if you do lie to somebody and they catch you in that lie, you're screwed. Because you're not going to believe another word that comes out of their mouth.
Right.
Okay? I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. There's no reason to lie to somebody unless you ain't got shit.
Unless you ain't got shit.
Unless you ain't got shit, then you can lie. You can lie all day.
Alright.
Okay? Because then what's it going to cost you? You know. That picture I showed you, that's Robert Iden. Okay? You say kind of looks familiar?
Yeah.
That was the insurance guy.
Okay.
Okay? When I say that, does that pop your memory any?
Yeah, that's the guy we got her from today, yeah.
Huh?
That's the guy we got the insurance from.
And you've only been in there that one time?
Yeah.
And Sherry was with you that one time?
Yeah.
Did you ever, that Ford Focus, did you ever drive that vehicle?
Every now and then, yeah, when we go out sometime.
Okay, did you ever take it by yourself?
No, because I had my Monte Carlo that I would take.
Right. And your Monte Carlo was running and there was no problems with it?
No.
So, and that was kind of a buddy of yours, Cleo's.
Yeah.
As you sit there, and I'm sitting here, I'm bringing up some pretty specific things here.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, I'm talking about a place on First Capitol. I'm giving you a name of a man. I'm showing you pictures. Obviously, I mean, I'm sure you picked up. I know a little bit more about you than I've lit on about where you've worked. So,
Right.
You know, so it's not like I'm walking into something totally blind.
Right.
And I can also tell you this: I haven't lied to you one step of this way so far.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just telling you, just so you know. Okay, I have not lied about one thing yet. Maybe I might have stretched one thing a little bit, but you're gonna understand why I did that here in a few minutes. Okay. You feel a little heavy right now?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what y'all trying, like,
Okay. Well, I'm gonna show you a piece of paper here, just so I can show you. And I told you a few minutes ago how it's illegal. It's not illegal or considered wrong by the Supreme Court for cops to lie. I said that, right?
Okay.
But what it is illegal for cops to do is to manufacture evidence.
Okay.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that means?
Just say something that they got something that they don't have or something.
No, manufacturing evidence would be something like, and this is an example, has nothing to do with this, just so you understand. It'd be like if this was a stolen car report, and I went to my computer and I printed up a fake title to a Monte Carlo, and I put everybody's brother's name on it and all this kind of shit, and I showed it to you and said, hey, I know you signed this.
Okay.
Well, you know you didn't. I made that title up.
Right.
That's a piece of paper from the state that's issued for a vehicle. That'd be me manufacturing a piece of evidence.
Okay.
That's illegal. That's wrong. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
But I do want to show you something that was not manufactured by me. That is an authentic piece of evidence, or it's a colored copy of. And I'm going to tell you what, I hate doing interviews out of a briefcase. You're probably going to want to see this. You're Paul C. White, correct?
Right.
You're a male?
Mm-hmm.
You're a black male? Your birthday? You know what your Missouri SID number is?
I have no idea.
Okay. You know what a SID number is?
What?
It's a number, the first time you were arrested, you were issued a state ID.
Okay.
SID. S-I-D.
No, I don't know what it
And that number follows you for the rest of your life. Okay? We'll sit over here. St. Charles County, Criminalist Laboratory, St. Charles County Sheriff's Department. Supplemental lab report, DNA. This is my report number. This is my victim, Robert Ivan. This is the offense, homicide/robbery. I don't know why they put the robbery on it, but it is. Suspect at the time when I knew this was unknown. You come to prison, they take your DNA. Your DNA pops up. You know where it pops up? Swabbing in the back pocket of my victim. I didn't manufacture this. That's a signature. This is real. Now, Paul, I also asked you about Cleo Hines. I know what kind of car Cleo Hines has got. I knew that beforehand. Outside the business of the insurance man at that same strip mall, there's a little Mexican grocery store.
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember that Mexican grocery store being there?
Not really.
Okay. Take my word for it. There's a little Mexican grocery store there that has video cameras.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you pictures in a minute, just so you don't think I'm bullshitting about that too, okay?
All right.
I want to tell you what. The law enforcement gods must have been smiling on us that day because their doors were open. It was a nice day outside. It was a warm day outside.
Okay.
And they had their doors open, so the video cameras that are normally just recording inside was able to get a view from the outside.
Okay.
And I get a vehicle driving by that I've been able to identify. Now, I want you to look at this. I took these pictures. I'm not a photographer. Okay? These were just for my notes. Does that kind of look familiar?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah. How's it somewhat look familiar?
It's a very focused.
Okay. Does that resemble the car that Cleo Hines and Melinda Gleason bought together?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on this incident we're talking about, I can narrow it down several different ways. One of the ways was phone calls made by the victim. Okay. I can also make out what a downstairs victim heard, or a downstairs witness heard, and what she heard upstairs going on at the time.
Okay.
Okay. Putting all that stuff together, your DNA comes back in the back pocket of Robert Iden. Your DNA.
Mine.
Dude,
Listen.
listen. I just showed you.
I understand that, but I ain't nowhere in the world.
Why don't you think that?
It's because I never. You said that he got robbed. I never robbed the guy. I've been in there one time and to get insurance. So that's
Exactly.
Ain't nowhere in the world.
You're telling me you've been in there one time,
Yeah.
and your DNA shows up in this guy's back pocket a month later?
That don't even make sense.
Exactly. With your story, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, Paul. I mean, it's one of these things that right now, when I show this to you, I show it to my boss, and I show it to the prosecutor. They're all on board on this, and they're saying, you know what? There's no way. I mean, you guys weren't romantically involved together, were you?
Come on, man.
I mean, exactly. I mean, my job is to prove people innocent, and my job is to prove people guilty. You told me in the beginning of this you're heterosexual.
Right.
Okay, I believe you're heterosexual. I don't think you've ever had a homosexual relationship with anybody. I mean, if you have, tell me now.
Nah.
Okay. All right. So, you know, there's several different ways for DNA to get passed. Okay. Or there's several different kinds of DNA, I should say. You know, there's sweat, there's skin cells, there's semen, there's saliva. You know, I told you as you're coming in here, you know, you got hairs falling through your pants leg. You know, every time you touch this chair, the arm rails with your bare skin, you're leaving, you know, droplets of microscopic sweat. Even though if you don't think you're sweating, you are. You know, you brush up against something, skin cells fall off on that chair. You know, it's the way we're composed. Now, if you can think of a reason that your DNA would be in his pocket other than the way I got it in my mind, I'm willing to listen. Okay? I'm going to tell you this. You know, I read the word homicide to you. Okay? He was killed.
Oh, he was killed?
He was killed.
Nah.
No, and I'm telling you, he was killed. You read that word right along with me. I sat right next to you. And I read it word for word with you. And I told you, you know, robbery should also be in the back of that homicide word. You know? His wallet was taken. Or items were taken out of his back pocket. And I'm telling you too, these are real shitty when you print them out on my computer. They look really good when you look at them on the camera though. I got Cleo Hines' vehicle with Illinois plates, driving past it. Now, we all know Melinda used to live in Illinois. I also know that right after the homicide, 2 weeks, I think it was, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little bit longer, you were in that vehicle and you got stopped by St. Peter's and you were arrested, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you in the Ford Focus with Cleo. I've got your DNA in his back pocket. I've got Sherry's information on the desk prior to, and when we went in and we get the report of a subject hurt and we go in there, we take pictures of everything before we move anything. And then we take everything and we put it in a box. As I go through and I get your name, I go back and I start going through, I go, oh, here's a Sherry White. I start going through, your information's on there. Now you guys didn't make a payment that day.
I thought she paid for my credit card that day.
Well, on that day you thought she did?
Yeah. She had to. Because they don't give you insurance unless you pay for it.
Well, I agree. Did she do it over the phone?
I thought she paid it like right in, I'm sure she paid them on the credit card right then and there.
Right there when you guys were in the office?
Yeah.
Did you take Cleo's vehicle up there that day?
We took our own car.
Okay. You're not listening to what I'm saying, Paul.
I'm listening to what
No,
you're saying.
You're listening. You need to listen a little deeper than that.
Okay.
While we're here sitting, I have 2 other detectives going to Sherry.
Okay.
And I have 2 other detectives, actually 3 other detectives looking for Cleo.
Okay.
What do you think Cleo's going to say about this when he's showing the pictures of his vehicle and you can see 2 black individuals in the front seat of the car?
I have no idea.
Well, it's his car. I mean, and it's got the Illinois tags on it. What do you think he's going to say?
I have no idea.
Do you think he wants to get wrapped up in something like this? His criminal history isn't bad.
I have no idea.
And you can't give me any idea why your DNA is going to be in his back pocket.
It's impossible.
It's not.
It's impossible. It's no way in the world. It's impossible.
Paul, it's not impossible.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you.
I know it's impossible. It's no way in the world.
Then how did it get there?
I don't even feel like it was there. It's impossible for it to be there.
It's there. That's not even something up to question. It's there. I mean, it's there. It's like saying there's air in this room. It's there.
And not only is it there, it's on the inside of the pocket.
It's not.
So that
It's
means
not-
that part of your body went into that pocket. There's no denying that.
Yo, that's impossible. That's impossible.
It's not impossible. You want to read the form again?
I mean, I know what that says, but that's impossible.
How do you think it? Okay. I don't believe in coincidences.
Okay.
I mean, do you?
No.
Okay, I don't. I'm a man of fact.
Okay.
I mean, I have to have somebody show me something for me to believe it, or have 3 people confirm it through other ways. I mean, I don't believe hearsay. I don't believe, what ifs. I mean, I guess I'm a man of science. If a piece of evidence is given to the lab and they do their scientific stuff, which I'm not even nearly qualified to tell you anything about, because I am qualified when they give me a police report and say, Detective Step, this is the individual whose DNA that we found.
Okay.
Now, if I was going to go to, let's take my jeans, for example, jeans I wore this weekend. If I submit those to the lab, my DNA is going to be in there, right? Because they're my jeans. I mean, I stick my hand in my pocket, get my car keys out, get my wallet out, get my can of dip, whatever. My hand goes in and out. It's brushing up. It's knocking skin cells off. They go to the lab. They find those things. They put them in the big computer. It spins around. And all of a sudden it goes, here's a match. And the match is your DOC number. This is getting to be more and more and more common as more and more people get DNA. It's like when fingerprints first started. They're going to have. That's the thing. You can wear gloves. You can wear a mask. You can wear a hoodie. It doesn't matter. What matters is what that piece of paper says, because that lab is accredited through the state and through the feds to do this kind of work. And they have to do all this testing. What do you think the odds of them picking your name out of all the millions of people?
I don't know, but like
Especially-
I'm saying, there's no way possible my DNA could have.
Paul,
That's what
I'm just telling you this.
Okay.
Do you know a woman named Diane?
No.
You don't know a woman named Diane Ivan?
No.
Did you ever work at St. John's Hospital?
No.
You never worked at St. John's in the cafeteria?
No.
You told your probation officer you worked at St. John's Hospital in the cafeteria?
No.
Yeah. I've got her notes from when you went to see her. You told her you got a job at St. John's? Yeah.
There's no way. Let me see the notes.
All right.
I want to see this. Y'all, oh my
I'm
God.
not making shit up, my man. Try to leave a message for band groups, canceled due to weather. Current employment, St. John's Mercy Hospital, New Balance and Olive. Contact, she doesn't have a contact number, or a contact person, but there's a contact number. Then up here it says, lost job at St. John's Hospital due to background check. May have job at Steak and Shake. She made those notes 2/27/07. 2/01 of 07, that's when you said you worked there. I think there was another one here too. I thought there was 3 entries. I could be wrong. Anyway, I showed it.
I've never worked at St. John's Hospital.
Okay.
I mean,
But this is your PO writing this stuff down. These are her notes, or his notes, her notes, right? Her notes. You know, I mean, I've never, my 17 years, never met a PO that's going to lie about a person in her charge.
I'm trying to think. Why was she even say I worked at St. John's Hospital?
I mean, were they giving you crap about getting a job?
Who? I'm trying. Why would she say that I worked at St. John's? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, because that's what was reported to her
That I worked at St. John's?
via you. I sat down and interviewed her about that. I talked to her, and she says that all the information she gets in there comes from the client.
Come from me.
Let's put it this way: every place that you went and you had to fill out applications, did you tell them that you were an inmate or been convicted of a felony? All, every place.
I'm sure, yeah. Except for human resources.
Human resources.
That was that's like the place I got the continental sprayers. You have to go through human resources out jumping.
Was that Kelly Services?
No,
Temp service.
it's a temp service. And then like they found out the guy at Continental wanted me to come on to the company. And they found out that I had a record. But they see the thing was, it says, have you been convicted of a crime in the last 5 or 7 years or whatever? And it had been
And the
longer
next,
than
the
that.
next sentence was, or done time in the
It
last
wasn't the
7 years.
last but I
Yeah.
But
You know,
okay,
yeah.
only thing that maybe the only reason that she might even had an inkling that I may have worked at St. John's was because this girl named Kathy that I used to date a long time ago, her mom was like a manager at the kitchen or something. And her mom, when I was dating Kathy, I could I don't know if she's Vietnamese, I don't know what her, I don't even know her full name, but Kathy Anderson.
Kathy Anderson.
Yeah.
And her mom is the manager of St. John's Cafeteria?
I want to say so. And her mom said a long time ago, like when I was dating Kathy, that she could give me a job up there, but I never.
How would your PO know that?
I might have mentioned it to her. Now that you say so, I might have mentioned, but I've never worked there. You know, I've never even filled out the application to go there. So that's why I was like, that don't even make sense. Unless I said, maybe like when she might have been like, are you working? I might have said something like, I'm trying to get a job at St. John's, but I never said anything like that I worked there or nothing like that. I've never worked there.
Well, she made 2 or 3 separate
Yeah,
entries. So that doesn't make sense to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can look. I mean, don't places have employment histories and all that?
Oh, they do.
You can look all that up. I've never even
I know.
filled out an application there.
But what I'm saying is, why would her PO? Because I did do that.
Okay.
I
And so
did-
you know
I did
I've never worked there.
I know that you haven't worked there as an employee of St. John's. Now, could you have worked there as a contractor?
I've
like-
never listened.
Listen to me. I'm just telling you. I mean,
Okay, listen to me.
I'm listening. I believe you.
I've
believe-
never
Oh,
worked there.
I believe when you say that you
Okay.
worked there, you do. Okay, I believe that. Okay, but what I don't believe is how she could have different entries saying Paul's saying he got a job there, and I'm paraphrasing. I'm not, Paul's saying he got a job there. Paul's saying things aren't going good. He might lose his job because.
Okay,
Yeah,
look,
so-
then here I'll give you something else you can check into then.
Okay.
Once you human resources, and it's a place out in O'Fallon. I want to say, what's the name of that place? I want to say St. Louis. When you get off at Highway K, you might know. You get off at Highway K, and you know how you can go to the right, but as soon as you go to the right, you know how you come to that real quick stoplight?
Mm-hmm.
You can make a left up on the outer road.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little temp service called St. Louis something. It's like next to
I know what you're
a
talking
cigarette cash place or whatever.
about. Cigarettes for less.
Yeah, it's a temp service right there. I work for that temp service, and I work for Human Resources temp service. Where else have I worked since I got out? I worked for the McDonald's. I work for it's another temp service I work for.
Kelly Services.
I never worked for Kelly Services. It's called
I believe you did work at Kelly Services.
I worked at Kelly
They had a
Services.
jacket on you.
They did. When did I work at Kelly Services?
I don't have the dates in front of me, but I'm pretty sure you did.
Kelly.
You and Cleo together.
I've never worked for Kelly Services.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I've never worked for Kelly Services. That place that I went, I'm trying to think of the name of that place. It's off of, it's in Westport. It's a temp service. I worked there for maybe 5 days. But they're the only 3 temp services that I worked for since I got out. So you could check all of them, and they'll never have me doing nothing at St. John's. I've never worked at St. John's a day in my life. So anybody, I've never.
But you do know your girl from back in the day, mom, who's Vietnamese, was a manager there.
Yeah. And she mentioned,
When was the last time you seen her?
maybe like 06. It's been a while. And like, I don't, maybe like when I
You said
didn't,
06?
yeah, when I didn't have a job, when your PO sweat you about jobs, I might have mentioned, oh, well, I'm trying to get a job here or there, but I never actually said that I worked there. If I did say I worked there, I was just.
Well, and I've never been on parole and never had a PO, but I understand pretty much how they work. If they're sweating you,
Right,
and I understand how that works,
right,
they're going to write down what you say. If you're trying to get a job, they're going to write you're trying. Now, now I can understand if I was in the other seat and I'm being sweated and I say, well, I got a job at St. John's. They buy me some time until I get another job.
right.
I understand how that works. They're not going to, say, Paul smiled at me and said he got a job at, Western Union, when in reality he said, man, I'm trying to get a job at St. John's. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're not
But
going
you can, I mean, just honestly, you can sit in front of a PO and say, I'm working at McDonald's. Which McDonald's you working at? I'm working at the one off Chandler.
Right.
And you could not be working there. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, well, what's the number? Before you go in, have the number. You give them the number, and they'll be like, okay, well, we want to see a paycheck stub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
you're like,
then
all right,
next week
so
come
you
back.
got time to get a paycheck stub, or you know what I'm saying, to find you a job to get a paycheck stub. Well, if any job that you have, you got to show them paycheck stubs. So what was her name? Miss Diver was my PO. You can ask her if I ever showed her a paycheck stub from any St. John's, and she'll tell you no.
You're right. You never did.
So
I'm just saying what she's saying.
okay.
We kind of get a little off track there, and I still want to know why the DNA is in his back pocket.
It's no way in the world it can be.
You're saying there's no way in the world it can be.
Yeah, there's no way in the world it can be.
And I'm telling you that a lab has come back and said it is.
There's no way.
And I can tell you that at that time, you were supposedly working for Continental Sprayers, according to them. Because I also subpoenaed the McDonald's, the one off Spencer, the one in Harvester, the one in Duchenne. I know one.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I've been able to figure out which ones fired you, which ones were allowing you to work, that kind of stuff. So I know at the time where you were working at. And I also know that you weren't working at this time during this time frame.
That I didn't have a job.
That you weren't working at this particular time. Those hours that we were looking at, you weren't working. Because I got all the time sheets, Dude, I put a lot of work into this, okay? I didn't come into this blind.
Okay, so what are you getting at?
My getting is this. I'm telling you right now that your DNA was found in a crime scene involving a man being shot, okay?
My DNA was found in the crime scene, man being shot. Man, ain't no way in the world. Mm-mm.
I'm just telling you. Okay? Now, and this ain't no joke, man. I'm looking
Right,
at
because
you right in the eye
I
here.
know, I'm trying to.
Okay, and I'm looking at you and telling you this. You know, one thing can be a coincidence, but I don't believe it in the first place. One thing could be a coincidence. Okay? But I've got the vehicle. I found that vehicle, even though it's been repossessed from Cleo and Melinda. And I got the police report with the Illinois tag on the back of it. I got the videotape with the damn thing driving around the business. And then I know what time the man died. And I know that only one person had been inside there before the police got in there, and that one person that got in there called the police. So it was what we call a virgin crime scene. It hadn't been tampered with, it hadn't been f***ed with.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is. It's not like, you know, somebody came and sprayed fairy dust all over him and allowed your DNA to be the one showing up. I got you tied to a vehicle that was seen driving around and your DNA in his back pocket. That doesn't look good. Would you agree with that? Paul?
I mean,
If it was the other way around. If you see my car driving around your house, my DNA being in your house, you'd come after me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm telling you, you know, also know, besides that, your wife's paperwork being on the front desk. Okay. That doesn't make sense either on his desk.
My wife's paperwork was on his front desk.
With your name in the file. Now, unfortunately, he can't tell us why it's there. I've got my theories why I think it's there, but I want to keep those to myself because that's just theory. Fact is what I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
Okay? Fact is the vehicle was seen driving around. Okay? Off the video. I know the Illinois tag was on there. I know 2 people were in that car. At least 3. I'm sorry, at least 2. Could be somebody in the back, I can't tell. I don't know. I'll find out though. You know, then I got your DNA there in the scene. And I know I'm trying to beat a dead horse here, but I'm trying to tell you, dude, this is not the time to be bullshitting around. I know, talking to his own family members, the victim's own family members, I know what his attitude's like. Okay, I know what would probably happen a little bit on this, but it's still just theory. I don't want to venture away from fact on the theory until we're concrete on this. Now, I guarantee you, we've sat across from each other maybe 45 minutes, an hour right now, and I know for a fact that if I would take these pants off and send them to the lab, Paul C. White's DNA is not going to be in my pocket. I know that.
Okay.
And we've sat knee to knee to each other. There's only one way for that to happen. And that's for somebody to reach in there. And I'm going to tell you, we searched that place from corner to corner, corner to corner, up and down, systematically. Probably one of the best crime scene units in St. Charles County was able to process this. They were the first ones ever. Every detective I've talked to in my homicide groups that I belong to, we talk to them, and I tell them how we got the DNA. They just think it's incredible that nobody ever thought about doing that before. And all of a sudden, you know what? Not only do we get a DNA, but a known DNA. That means we know who that DNA belongs to. And then when I tell them, you know what? That matches up to a car that was seen circling around. They didn't just drive once past the video, they drove twice. They're going, dude, you got it. This is it. You know? And I know from doing these, sometimes it doesn't. We just worked one in July this year. Sometimes things happen that aren't meant to happen. people go into something with an intention of, you know what, this is what we're going to do. But sometimes the victims don't cooperate all the time, and they do stupid things. Sometimes they try to man up when they probably shouldn't, because anything that's taken can all be replaced. Sometimes it's on them. But it's my job to give answers to the family on this too. I'm just telling you, okay? There are different kinds of people in this world, and I'm sure you've ran across them. There's people that's just trying to, get by and do the right thing, even though it ain't the right thing to do. They just try to get by. And then there's thugs, okay? And you know what a thug is? Mm-hmm. It's a person that goes out there, doesn't give a fuck who you are or what you're about. They're going to go out there and they don't give a fuck, They're an animal. That's pretty much what they are. They're an animal. There's probably a few animals around here, aren't there? Yeah, a few. They don't give a fuck about nobody else but their own self. And there's other people, you know what? They might be taking a little bit of here and a little bit there, just trying to make their life a little bit easier. But they don't do it the fucking animal way.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes an animal makes them do something that they normally wouldn't do under normal circumstances. And that can be explained. And there's a difference. You got a kid. How old's your kid?
6.
Kid's 6 years old. Now, before you came here, I'm sure you watched that kid. Kid be walking around the house. Let's say your mom, because I usually use moms because moms are the best at this. Moms make cookies, right? I know my mom used to, or she make a pie or something. Cookies work best for the story. She makes a bunch of fresh cookies out of the oven. Whole house smelling like chocolate chip or cinnamon or whatever the hell cookie she made. And that little kid's sitting there. And you know what? You'd say, Junior, don't you be eating no cookies. All right, Dad, I ain't gonna eat no cookies. And there's 12 of them sitting on that plate. You come back 15 minutes later, there are 10 of them on that plate now. And Junior's got shit all over his face.
Right.
And you know what? You say, Junior, what happened to those cookies? And Junior says, I don't know, Dad. Now you're pissed. Okay? Not so much that the kid ate the cookies, because that's what kids do.
It's because he lied.
Because he lied.
Okay.
Okay? I'm a dad too. I lied to my dad. I lied to my mom. I got in trouble for it. Now that I'm a parent, my kids lie to me, I realize they weren't whooping my ass because I ate the cookie. It's because I lied to them.
Right.
Okay? Same thing with the kid and the cookie. There's a certain time when you get caught with cookie crumbs on your face that, you know what? It's like when you get pulled over by the cops. Maybe that's the time to lie to the police because you ain't in cuffs yet.
Right.
And you still have a chance. But once they put you in the cuffs and put you in the car and they take you, pretty much at that point the gig's up most of the time.
Right.
And the only thing you do by lying at that point is making it worse.
Right.
And worse. And worse. Just like the kid with the cookies on his face. It's making it worse. Okay? And I'm telling you, I know that this guy might not have been 100% an angel. I know. It's just like, I'll tell you what, I'm a cop. I've been a cop for 17 years. I carry a gun. If somebody came up to me and my wife as I'm walking down the alley, they said, give me a wallet. Motherfucker, you can have my wallet. Because you know what? There ain't a damn thing in that wallet that can't be replaced.
Right.
And you know what? I know that guy 99% of the time is not going to hurt me or my wife. They want that to get milk for their baby, heroin in their arm, make a car payment. I don't know. Whatever their issue is, I know they're going to take it and run. I can replace that. I can call my bank. I can call my insurance company. My wife ain't hurt. I'm not hurt. He's gone. I'm done. I'll probably never see that guy again. But if I was to man up and be strapped or be a big motherfucker and I tried to use a little bit of force on the guy, you know what? Sometimes that's a defense, Didn't want to go in there and hurt somebody. I wanted to go in there and get some cash. Or I wanted to go in there to get whatever, He pushed it. If he'd have just shut up and did what I told him, then I would be in this situation. I know you probably heard that story 100 times. I've heard that story 100 times. It's the way it is. Sometimes people are dumb. We had a guy, drug deal gone bad, get shot for it. Bullet hit the wrong spot, killed him. You know what? Those guys didn't intend to go kill him.
Didn't that happen on K Springs at the Arrested Community Parking lot?
You are correct.
I heard about that.
Do you think those guys intended to kill him?
I don't even know the story. I just heard
You knew
that they
that.
found the body in the car or whatever or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. They didn't intend to kill him. They didn't intend to rob him. He manned up. You know? Now instead of not having a little bit of cash in his pocket, his mom had to go out and buy a black dress. His mom shouldn't have had to go out and buy a black dress. Just like this guy. You know? This guy's family didn't need to go put a tie on June Day. They didn't need to go buy black dresses. You know, he didn't have any kids, but he had a nephew. Nephew really misses his uncle. Misses him a whole lot. And it kind of worked out good since his dad was gone a lot. Uncle kind of filled in for him. Filled in for him a lot. And he misses his Uncle Bob. And now he sends the Christmas cards that he would have sent to his uncle to the police department. Because he needed to send him somewhere. He kind of feels like this is what he can do. And he also takes him to the cemetery and puts him on his headstone. That's what he does. He's a little kid. He doesn't understand how the world works. What do you think should happen to somebody that, let's put this one, scratch what I just said there. There's two different kinds, like I said. There's animals, and there's animals/thugs, and there's people just trying to get by. Is there a difference? There's some people that, man, they're just freaking wired to be mean.
I mean, I guess the intent could be different, but
You know what? That's a good word you used.
you know what I mean?
You don't see a difference?
I mean, let's say the intent can be different, but I mean, it's like, what's the
Do you like football?
What's the difference if you rob a store for money to try to put food on the table, or then if you turn around and rob a store just because you want to do it just to show you can rob a store, you know what I mean? The crime is still the same. You know what I mean? It might have been for different reasons, like the intent might have been different, but it doesn't make it no less.
When I was a baby policeman, and I wore a uniform and my face was all clean and my hair was short, and they'd send me to Dearborn for a shoplifter in custody. Okay? If I went into Dearborn's and the security guy had the person in the back, and it was a guy who stole a loaf of bread, some Spam, some peanut butter, some diapers, walked out without paying. No, his intent was stealing. Did he steal filet mignon? Did he steal Jack Daniels? He stole because the baby needed to eat. Same day, that guy I'd give a summons. You know what? You did wrong. Yeah, you have to go to court. Here's your summons. Show up on the court date. Okay? Now, if they sent me to Target, and I'd go in the back with security, and they've got a 35-year-old housewife whose husband is a Boeing executive, and she's got $500 worth of cash in her pocket, credit cards, and a checkbook, and she steals an $80 bottle of perfume. She doesn't need the $80 bottle of perfume. She's got plenty of money to pay for it. She walks out to steal it. That was her intent to steal it. But she did it more for the thrill, as opposed to, now, you see what I'm saying? You still got two stores, property, both being what it is. But one guy did it because his baby's crying. Babies get an empty stomach, they cry. They don't care if you're trying to get a job, got a job, what your problem is. They just know their belly hurts. Housewife, on the other hand, just want to see if she can get away with it. Both had the same intent, right?
Right.
Did I clarify that a little bit? Some people are just wired differently. Some people, like I said, some people are just animals. Some aren't. Some of them aren't. Some people, you know what? They're trying, they have the intent to do one thing, and they're forced. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Do you like getting your ass beat?
Nah,
I don't like
nobody
getting my
do.
ass beat. Nobody likes getting their ass beat. Nobody feels like they're like been threatened. You know? My dad used to tell me growing up, a deer's a beautiful animal, right? Little white-tailed deer, Bambi. Beautiful animal. Doesn't look like it harm a fly. But if you cornered that deer in this room, that deer's gonna kick you and bite you and jump all over you and fight for survival. I mean, everything that has breath and has life doesn't want to get hurt. You know, it's a survival instinct. Fight or flight. If you can't run, you gotta fight. I kind of think that's what this incident was, Paul. I don't think that the people that went in there and hurt him, I don't think their intention was to go in there and execute him. I don't think that whatsoever. And the reason I say that is because of the investigation we've done into him as well. You know? We know what he thought about people. We know, you know, first of all, you've seen the pictures of him. Was he a little puny guy? No. He wasn't a puny guy. Bigger than me. You know? I'm a couple inches taller than you. He was a couple inches taller than me. You know? Pretty good sized dude. He's one of those dudes that you could probably outrun real easy. But man, if he grabbed you, be like one of those professional wrestlers getting you in a death grip. I don't want to be put into a death grip. I don't think you want to get put in a death grip. And I think that's the way this went. I don't think this was a mean-ass violent takedown. But my job is to get the truth of this. And I can get, you know, what I'm going to do is this is going to go to the prosecutor's office. They already, I'm just before you nod your head saying, you know, I don't care, or I don't know, or I don't what. I'm going to tell you what, they've been with me on this every step of the way for the last year and a half. They've read every report I've written. They've read everything the major case has written on it. They've seen every piece of evidence, especially the last couple of months. I've already got a prosecutor assigned to it. They know what I'm doing today. They know that Cleo's going to get spoke with today. They know your wife's getting spoke with and several other people that might be related, might not. I don't know. But I do know this. Out of all these people, you're the only one who has DNA in the back pocket. You're the only one that everybody's pointing a finger at right now. And, you know, at this stage of the game, we got the middle of the book and the beginning of the book. I'm just working on the end of it now. And, you know, I'm going to present it the way you want it to be presented.
It ain't nothing to present. It don't even make sense because there's no way my DNA can be in it. And, you know what I'm saying? I've been in there one time. That was to get insurance. You know what I mean? So, other than that, this is all new to me. I have no idea.
Oh, let's put it this way.
Okay.
The last day that you were in his office is the day that Sherry's credit card was run. Is that what you're going to tell me?
I'm sure she paid for insurance with a credit card.
Okay, and you were with her.
Yeah, I was with her when she got insurance.
So that day is the last and first time you were ever in there.
Yeah.
You know what? Every time someone goes to, well, let's put it this way. How many other people do you think paid with a credit card that day?
I have no idea.
Nobody else's DNA is in his back pocket. I'm just telling you, Paul. And the reason this is my assumption, the reason that someone else's other than the victim's DNA is in his back pocket is because they reached for something. That's what makes it a robbery. They took something by force. That's what makes it a robbery. You know, it might not be your average textbook, this is what we consider a robbery. You know, somebody doing this, put your hands up, give me your wallet, and run. It's still a robbery. Still a guy laying on the floor when the police show up. And it is what it is. And you know what? I mean, it's either somebody's going to look at you and think, you know what, this guy is not remorseful. He doesn't care.
Remorseful for what? You saying like I'm not remorseful. it's nothing to be remorseful for. It doesn't even. Why would I be remorseful for anything? You saying that he's dead? You know what I'm saying?
He's
Okay,
dead.
I'm
I can prove that too.
all right. You saying that he's dead? I'm sorry to hear that he's dead, but I've had nothing to do with him being dead. You saying like I'm showing that I'm not remorseful? That don't make sense. If you found out that tomorrow that I died in here, would you feel remorse for me?
Yeah, I would feel sorry.
I mean, okay, yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna. If I came to you and was like,
Because you know what, Paul, the difference is, I'm not going to be the one that broke in here to steal anything from you.
okay,
wouldn't
I
be
didn't break in
responsible.
there to steal anything, so this
Okay.
is,
But my DNA also wouldn't be on your body.
and I'm 100% sure mine's not on his.
But I'm telling you it is.
There's no
Paul,
way.
I'm not lying to you.
I wasn't there, so there's no way that it could be there.
You watch CSI?
Yeah, I watched all them shows. So
Okay. Do you think everybody, and this is just an opinion, do you think the people that go to court watch CSI too?
probably.
Okay. What do you think if you watch CSI, you're sitting up there in the jury box, and if I get up there and say, St. Charles County Lab, which is accredited, this is the scientist who's about ready to testify, is going to say that, you know what, this is his DNA. I'm just asking you.
A person can get up there. Okay, yeah, a police officer can get up there and say that this person.
It's a scientist.
The scientist can get up there and say this person's DNA was found on such and such, such and such. But that don't necessarily mean that person's DNA was really found there. You know what I mean? A person can, people can lie, but I mean, I'm not saying that y'all have a reason to lie, and I'm not saying that the scientist will have a reason to lie, but I'm saying that there's no way in the world that my DNA was found there because I wasn't there. I've been in that office one time, and that was to get insurance. You know what I mean? And I mean, basically, it's like, first you tell me this guy got robbed. Now it's a homicide.
It's a robbery homicide.
It's
Robbery homicide. Paul, I told you once. I don't lie. When I come in here, I ain't told you one fabrication of the story. I haven't stretched the truth. I haven't made up anything. I'm telling you point blank. Point blank. You know, I'm.
See, man, check this
I'm just telling you.
My-
And what I was
okay.
trying to say.
I mean, okay, when I was 17 years, I committed a robbery. You know what I mean? I was with a guy, and we robbed the cleaners, and we left. A couple of days later, we ended up getting locked up. I told the detectives what happened before he did. You know, he denied everything. I told them what happened. You know what I mean? And we both got locked up. He ended up getting probation. I got 15 years. So I went to prison. I came out. I committed a forgery, no one. Wrote some checks, you know what I mean? I went back to prison and ended up completing that sentence. But then I called it forgery again in 08, you know what I mean? But I've never robbed anybody else. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I've never stolen anything because I have. You know what I mean? But as far as robbing somebody and killing somebody, I've never done nothing like that. You know what I mean? When we robbed the cleaners, there wasn't even any bullets in the gun. We had a gun, but there wasn't even any bullets in the gun. I wouldn't have, man,
Okay.
that's no way in the
That
world.
clerk, did she show up in court?
Yeah, she came to court.
Did she ID you?
Yeah.
If this guy.
But even before all that, I admitted to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she wouldn't have even had to come to court.
You could always recant your statement.
I mean,
You could always recant your statement.
yeah, but it was no point to.
But I'm just saying you could,
Yeah.
you know? And then you have the eyeball witness and say, you know, this is the person. Maybe that's the same situation on this. Maybe, you know what, you already did 15 years. Maybe you don't want to go back to prison.
I'm in prison.
You weren't in prison then. You weren't in prison then. You were on parole for robbery then.
I'm parole for a robbery when what?
Well, I think you were on parole at the time. You were underneath the supervision, probation parole.
When this robbery happened? Oh, well,
Yeah. But what I was trying to say before, you being an individual who watches CSI, and I know you say that somebody could lie, but for somebody to lie, they'd have to have a motive for them to lie. People just don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to tell the truth, or wake up and say, today I'm going to tell a lie.
Okay, so you saying that the only reason you and her seeing me is because my DNA was found in his back pocket?
If I was going to come in here just because your DNA was in the back pocket, I got this information March 3rd of this year. I've been here March 4th.
Okay.
So what I did instead is I did my homework and I started thinking, you know what? I got this piece of evidence, I got this piece of evidence. How does it match up with what I already know?
Okay.
Okay? It's not a, man, I need to really find out if he did it. Paul, I'm going to tell you what, I'm pretty darn convinced that you had something to do with this. And the reason I did this is because the last couple of months of all the work we've done on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's say there'd been a black Ford pickup truck that drove around twice that we had on video instead of what we got. Well, you know what? That wouldn't fit up. But you know what? I did an 07 Ford Focus that was purchased 6 weeks prior by Cleo, okay, and Melinda. I said, okay. But you know what? This is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to find out. Maybe I'm going to be acting as your attorney. I'm going to say, what is the attorney going to ask me? Well, he was at work. Every place that I've subpoenaed and got your work schedule and your payroll stubs, you weren't working at this time. Now, I go, maybe Cleo was working. Cleo wasn't working either. You know what? So, So then I go back and I go, just look at all the stuff. Maybe Paul went in there to make a payment. All right? Well, I go and there's her stuff on the desk. The wife's stuff on the desk. So, but there weren't receipts. There wasn't anything in the computer. Visa or MasterCard, whoever it was, didn't ring anything up for the insurance that day. So that's kind of odd. And there's some other stuff that I'm not going to get into because, I mean, it's irrelevant. I mean, I've put a lot out there on the table. I probably told you more than most cops would tell you while you're sitting in this room. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not bullshitting, my man. I'm not. There ain't, there's times to lie, and there's times, you just need to come to Jesus. And this is one of them. I mean, if I was making shit up, I would have no problem you crossing your arms, laughing at me, and saying, you know what, you're wrong. But you know what, Paul? You can say all you want. I don't believe my DNA's there. I'm telling you. Him as my witness. You holding a piece of paper. It's there. It's not me asking you, if I check the scene, is your DNA going to be there? Paul, I'm telling you, it's there. That's like saying, if you had sex with some woman, is it my kid? I'm telling you, the DNA is saying it's your kid. 99.99999%. You. The only reason it's not anymore is because they'll never, ever be able to get that mathematical 1.1 million.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But
they can't do that.
I'm telling you that it's no way possible my DNA could be there because I had nothing to do with this. Nothing.
I told you at the beginning of this conversation that I don't believe in coincidence. And you said it yourself, you don't either. So I am forced to believe fact. I am forced to put down with people. I always give this option to everybody. Tell me how I prove you innocent.
How do you prove me innocent?
How do I prove you innocent? How do I prove Paul White didn't have anything to do with this?
I don't know. That's not your job to do.
Oh, yes, it is my job. My job's not to lock up an innocent man, is it? If I lock up an innocent man, that means the guilty guy's still running around.
Yeah.
Okay? Then I ain't doing my job.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, y'all in here wasting y'all time because I'm not the guy that did that.
Well, according to what that says, you are.
Okay.
According to what the videotape says of the vehicle circling around that belongs to Cleo, can you give me one excuse why Cleo's car be driving around there?
I have no idea.
Okay? And you know what? The real certain, it's got brand new brand new car, okay? I understand times are tough, not being able to freaking afford insurance and property tax and inspections and all that stuff you need to get a car registered. Excuse me. So Melinda, who used to live in Illinois, takes her old plates and puts on there. I understand that. And they're on there even after the fact when St. Peter's gets you. So, I mean, I can put you in that car.
Man, hey. All right.
No, I'm listening to you.
What,
How do I
what
prove
possible explanation can you provide that why your DNA is in the interior of this man's
There's
back
no
pocket?
way in the world my DNA could be.
Well,
I mean,
it's there, brother. There's nothing that we can't tell you anything more. That's a fact. It's a scientific fact.
There's no way in the world that my DNA.
But
could
it
be there.
is.
It don't make sense.
Well, whether it makes sense to you or not.
That's like
it
you
is
saying
there.
right now my DNA in your pocket.
No,
I haven't
you know what?
touched you
Good.
at all.
Exactly. You have.
So that
It's
don't-
not going to be there. My DNA is not going to be in your
Right,
pocket either.
we haven't touched each other, so there's no way in the world, because the only time that I was in that office was when we bought insurance. So other than that, there's no way in the world.
Did you stick your hand in his back pocket?
Why would I stick my hand in his back pocket?
I'm trying to get.
No.
I'm trying to get answers for that.
I've never stuck my hand in his back pocket. That don't even make sense. It don't make sense.
And I agree.
But I mean,
That's why we're here.
Yeah, I haven't arrested you. I haven't got a warrant yet.
it
I
just
mean, I
don't make
believe in
sense.
every. I believe. Go
It
ahead.
don't make sense, because it's like, even when Cleo and them was out and some people called this house, and like he called this house from our house. Some people called this house and said something about this before, and we went up to St. Charles County. Me and Mindy went up there. You know what I mean? And they said that something about. They asked Mindy something about, have you ever tried to get insurance through the guy?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I told you we tried to get talking to everybody.
This was back some years ago.
Right, 07 when it happened.
They asked that had they tried to
I
get
read that
insurance
too.
through the guy, and there was a guy right there. He was talking to us and everything, and he was like, okay, I just wanted to clear it up because we were trying to get in contact with you guys and we couldn't reach you guys.
Okay.
And that was that. And I mean, other than that, I mean,
That's before everything was sent to the lab. I mean, DNA just doesn't come the next day. It's not like on television. We don't solve a crime in 30 minutes with commercials, It takes a little bit of time.
I understand that, but see, it's like I'm tripping. It's like, because it's like you coming here saying that my DNA is in his pocket, which it ain't no way on God's green earth my DNA could be in his pocket, because I never touched his pocket. And then you're saying
So
that everything
when you say
over
that-
there saying that everybody's pointing the finger at you. You know what I mean? That don't even make sense, because the only time I ever went in there was to get insurance with Sherry. And then you're saying a robbery.
It's the same incident, dude.
Okay, but okay, listen to this. You saying a robbery. A robbery.
Right.
So a person is gonna rob somebody is gonna rob him? Does that make sense? Seriously, if I'm gonna do a robbery, I haven't done a robbery since '94, but if I'm gonna do a robbery and risk going back to prison for a robbery, because I know you get 15 years better, and then it's gonna be my second one, so I know I'm gonna get a lot of time. If I'm gonna do a robbery, I'm gonna at least try to rob a bank or something where it at least be worth the money. You know what I mean? I mean, come on now, you're not. If I'm okay, yeah, I've done dumb stuff and wrote some checks. That wasn't worth coming to this for. I hate it every day that I'm here because I wrote those stupid checks for a couple of $100. You know what I mean? That's not worth coming to prison for 3 years for. Well, I got a 6-year sentence, but I got to do 3 years for it. You know what I mean? And every day I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about how I'm missing my daughter. You know what I mean? And how I ruined things between me and my wife over this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I'm got to the point to where it's like, man, all this shit not worth it. You know what I'm saying? When I went home last time in '06, when I got out, I got out and didn't really have a plan as to how I was going to do things when I got out. So I was freelancing every day, you know what I mean? Getting jobs at McDonald's and stuff like this instead of going back to school when I should have and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, like, my whole focus this time is something totally different. But then, like, you guys coming here saying some stuff like this, it doesn't even make sense to me because there's no way in the world, because I was not there. The only time I've been in the dude office was when we were getting insurance. So anything else, it's like, it doesn't even make sense to me at all.
Paul, if I'd been one of the guys that had talked to you at the police department when you came up with Linda, when they was trying to get a hold of her, you know, that incident, if you told me the story, what you're saying, I would say, you know what, appreciate you coming up, thank you, I document what you said, and I would have left it there. I would never have called you a liar. Never. Because you know what, you came up and you're talking to me about it. But if you came up to the police department to talk to me, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't believe you. And just like if
So you're just sitting here saying you don't believe me?
I don't believe that DNA can just jump off your body.
It ain't no way in the world it can jump
But
off
it's
my
okay,
body.
when you say that, are you saying I'm a liar?
No, I'm not saying
Or you're
you're
saying
a
a
liar,
scientist a liar?
I'm saying.
Well, I'm asking. I mean,
I'm not
didn't know
calling
what-
nobody a liar.
Okay.
So let's get that straight. I'm not calling nobody.
Who are you calling wrong?
I'm saying that there's no way in the world that my DNA could be in his pocket. How is my DNA in his pocket? I gotta literally touch you for my DNA to be on you, right? That's how
Pretty
DNA.
much.
Okay, so there's no way my DNA can be in his pocket. The only time that I've ever been in there was when we got insurance. Other than that, I've never been in there.
Okay.
So
You remember when you had to go up there with Melinda?
to the police department, yeah.
Okay. Was that the same day that you went up there and got insurance? Was that a month before?
That was way after that, cause they
When you say wait, a month?
I don't even remember when we went up to the police department, but like
Well, I got that documented.
Okay, when was that?
Well, I didn't bring.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
Well,
several big books. I didn't carry all of them.
I don't know. I'm gonna call Sherry and ask her when we got insurance from the guy. And other than that, that was the last time I was in there. And then whenever those people called us, they left a message on Mindy and Cleo had an apartment in Hazelwood. They left a message on the phone saying that they wanted to talk to him. So
Because she tried to get insurance through them.
if she did, I don't know. Sherry might have told her to go up there because they were cheap or something. But other than that, I didn't even know that she tried to get insurance through him.
That's why.
Okay.
She tried. And I'm trying to explain to you why Melinda went up there, why they were trying to get a hold of Melinda. Everybody that has a folder through that insurance company has been talked to or attempted to be talked to.
They never asked us, and we had a folder through them until now, I guess.
Yeah, Sherry was talked to
She
Initially.
never said nothing to me about it.
initially. That's before your name came up.
Okay, why was I never talked to? If you're saying my name was
Because
in the
you
folder,
weren't the primary. And you know what? If I'd been the detective that was in charge of it, Sherry's name was the first one because when she first got insurance through them and you were married, were you in prison for a little bit in the beginning when you guys were married?
Yeah,
Because you got married while you're in prison, right?
right.
Part of the insurance process on a policy number, what you have to do is if you're married, you have to give your husband's name. Well, she wanted to pay extra for you while you're being locked up.
She didn't get that insurance until after I was out.
No, she did get insurance through Brooks while you were in prison.
I'm
I'm telling you, I see the
Okay.
dates. Okay, but I'm telling you, that's when your name was first on it. That's why she's the primary on the insurance policy. If it had been me, and that was my lead, what I would have done is I would have talked to not the primary person, but everybody that was on the list, which is usually a household.
Okay.
Okay, so some people do things different. I inherited the case after everybody left. It was mine for the last 3 years. We are talking to people. Believe me, Paul, I've talked to more people on this case than I've talked to anybody in my life. Okay? And I don't know what to tell you. Except that what I'm being told is a scientific fact that I can't change.
And I'm not saying that you lying, and I'm not saying that the people that told you this is lying, but what I'm saying is no possible way for my DNA to be on him. Because the only time that I've ever even been around him is just when we bought insurance from him. You know what I mean? Other than that, he could walk into this room, and unless he said something to me about how you remember you bought insurance from, I probably wouldn't even trip off who he was. Like if I saw you 5 years from now, unless you be like, oh, you don't remember me? I interviewed you. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna remember you like that. You know what I mean? But that don't make sense. That my DNA was found in his back pocket. It don't even make sense because the only time I've ever been around him was when we bought insurance. So other than that, it's like it don't. It's just like oh, this is.
All right. I don't know how your house runs when you're not here, but when I wear clothes, I wear them one time. They either go to the cleaners or they go to the laundry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm a pretty firm believer that if I took my pants and I put them in the wash machine, that soap and that water is going to wash that stuff right out.
I know this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say it don't see. But they say it don't see us out. But I'm just saying, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a scientist. But and then the next day I wear a different pair of pants to work. And then, you know what, by the end of the week, I either have to go to the dry cleaners or somebody's doing some laundry over the weekend. So, going on that, he'd only wore those pants a couple hours that day. You know? And you're saying you weren't there that day.
When did this happen?
In June. If I tell you an exact date, does that help you remember? I mean, I'm just asking.
Oh, man.
I'm just asking. Well, I mean, like if you told me December 25th, that would help
That'd
me.
be Christmas.
That would be Christmas.
Okay, June of what year?
07.
I don't know. But I had nothing to do with that.
When you and Sherry went in to do your insurance thing, did you go in morning, noon, or night? Were you guys really risers? Or, would you lay around in bed, or, would you get up at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning and then go
I
about your
have
business?
no idea what time it was. I don't even remember. I know it was probably I would say the afternoon. I'm just getting, I would say the afternoon. You're talking about 3-4 years ago. I would say the
You're
afternoon.
talking about 3-4 years ago. But, I also know that, most people are creatures of habit. You know, they do their errands, the same day every week or the same, after.
All I know is when we got that new car, or I don't even remember if it was on the Jeep or if it was on our Malibu, but I almost want to say it was for the Malibu. I think it was for the Malibu we got insurance on it for. But she needed insurance or something to get her inspection done. You know what I mean? Because her insurance that she had was already expired or whatever, and she had to have insurance. So I went there with her, and we got insurance. You know what I mean? And that was that. So it's like all this other stuff is kind of like mind blowing to me because you're telling me that my DNA is in his back pocket. This is crazy. It doesn't even make sense to me. It don't even make sense to me.
Well, I can only tell you so many times that it's there. This
isn't a conspiracy to get Paul.
I'm not.
It's not, dude.
I mean,
it is what it is.
Right.
You think we would have driven all the way up here on a whim?
No. Then it's like
I told you, if I would have,
I'm getting taped and stuff, and what the man. This don't even make sense.
No, it is what it is. I'm telling you, you know what? DNA is there. I wouldn't lie. Like you said, I sure wouldn't lie on tape, would I?
No. I hope not. No, I don't think you would.
No, I wouldn't lie off tape.
But it's like, there's no reason for my DNA to be there. It doesn't even make sense.
Paul, I agree with you. There is no reason.
Period.
Paul.
And I would bet my out date that it's not there. It's no way possible. How in the hell? I know. I seen the paper. You ain't got to show me the
Then
paper.
your out date just been changed, dude. If you're gonna bet that.
Yep.
I mean, if that's what you want to bet, your out date's been changed. Because I mean,
Bring
you
Darren in here
lost.
for that comment.
Who's the other investigator?
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense, man.
I mean, the piece of evidence that they retrieved that from, which is the back pocket, they still have
The sample they have.
the samples they obtained. That's all they have.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. It's there. We need an explanation of why.
My explanation would be, I have no idea.
I mean, you didn't break into his house or the day and read inside of his pant pockets, did you? Seriously.
And you're not,
No, I'm not laughing because I know it's serious, but I'm laughing because it's the stuff you're saying is kind of like, are you serious?
No, but I mean, but you need to look at it from our point of view. I mean, and whether you believe it or not, our job is to prove people innocent. That's how we both look at our job. Because if we can't, then we have an issue,
Okay.
right? If we can eliminate you based on our investigation, then we've done so. All right?
Okay, well, I mean,
But
we
we can't eliminate you.
Paul, you know what? The easiest way to do that is by work records. You know what? You weren't working that day.
When did it happen?
June 8th.
June 8th.
June 8th.
And how am I supposed to know if I was working on June 8th?
You're
3
not.
years ago.
You're not. But I am. I know because I checked. I told you I checked McDonald's, Continental Spray. When I say McDonald's, I mean all of them. Okay, not just one. I pulled the records for all of them. I pulled Continental Sprayer. There was another one or two places I checked. I know you weren't working at St. John's, even though you told the PO that supposedly worked at St. John's that you weren't working there. Every place that I've got for a place of employment.
That lady you was talking about,
Listen to me.
all right.
Listen to me, okay? If I could say you were working at Taco Bell and you just made 100 tacos that morning, Paul, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
So you saying because you can't?
I can't alibi you.
So that's what all this is about.
I'm telling you, I got your DNA at the scene and I can't alibi you. It ain't just that. What you're doing is you're giving me a two-cent explanation. Okay, that's what you're minimizing.
So you want me? I'm not minimizing. You
Yeah,
want
you're
me to
saying
tell?
this,
Okay.
this is all about. You know what this kind of case is about.
Yeah, I know what the
It's
case
serious.
is. Yeah, this case. Yeah, it's serious if it's a murder case. But what you're saying it don't make sense to me because I had nothing to do with it. And so you want an alibi for me? How am I supposed to sit here and tell you what I was doing on June 8th 3 years ago? That don't even make sense. I can't tell you what I was doing June 8th this year and I know I was in prison. I can't tell you what I was walking around here doing on June 8th.
Okay.
And that was 3 months ago.
And
So-
Paul, I understand that, but I'm telling you what I've done for you. Okay, I have subpoenaed all these places to find out if you were working.
Okay.
Okay,
So you saying
did you have a
I
cell phone?
I had I don't know. I had a bunch of cell phones since I've been on. Through Nextel, through a place where I got one out a gas station in the city. It was, I want to say, U.S. Cellular. Could I tell you the numbers?
Was
on
it pay to go?
That one was a pay as you go, but the Nextel wasn't.
Okay. So you had a contract with Nextel.
Yeah,
Was it in your name?
it was in me and Sherry's name. Got it off of Highway K at the Sprint store off of Mexico Road.
Okay. How long did you have that one?
Through, I know I had it in 07. I know that for a fact, because me and Sherry both had the chirpers. And
Did you have it in June of 07?
I don't remember.
Remember the phone number?
I could find out though. I remember my what's that little?
Chirp.
That was like 140. I think that was like 1-4, and I was 2 or 3, because Sherry was 1 and her friend was either 2 or 3, and I was either 2 or 3. Star again. Then I was either 2 or 3, because Sherry was 1 and her friend Ellen was either 2 or 3. But other than that, I don't even remember the phone, because I changed my number like maybe 4 or 5 times because of female issues.
You didn't have too many females, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
The female issues.
And then the one that I had through US Cellular, it was just, I got,
That's just a freaking throwaway phone, right?
yeah, but you had to sign papers for it though. I got it at, mobile, on,
And that was the pay as you go.
it was, you had to pay at the store, but it was a gas station, but inside the gas station they have a booth just for cell phones, and you had to sign your name, put your address and all that stuff on there, so it's
Which
a
gas
paper
station?
trip. It's either a BP or a mobile. It's right on the corner, a Natural Bridge and Kings Highway, and
Across from White Castle.
caddy corner from the White Castles. It's right next. I want to say it's next door to a chicken place, maybe.
Oh, there's like
Then
three
there's
of them right there.
Huh?
There's churches right there. There's Popeyes right there. I can't remember.
There's a Walgreens right across the street. If I was at if this is the gas station, Walgreens is right there, White Castles is right there, and I want to almost say it's a bank or something right there. But I got that there.
Pretty good part of town there.
Nah,
No,
not for real.
I'm being facetious.
You were asking him something earlier about the lady.
Yeah, he said something about me working at St. John's and whatever that lady's name was. And why would you ask if I knew her?
It's just not a question. I have.
Because what did she say? I worked there or something?
I haven't talked to her. That's why I was trying to. I mean, maybe she could say, no, he never worked here. Dude, I mean, I'm not trying to put a noose around your neck here, okay? I mean, I'm not trying to push you off a cliff. I'm not trying to, like we said, we try to prove people innocent. If we can't prove them innocent, then we have to look at it harder. Right now, I can't prove you innocent.
Well, what you want me to say? You know what I mean? I
Well,
don't
you know what? I think I gave a pretty good explanation earlier. I don't think you're a thug. Paul, right now, what I'm leaning towards, do I think you're involved in this? I kind of think you are. I'm leaning that way. And you can't blame me for thinking that way. Look at all the stuff I put on the table in front of you.
Okay, and even with that stuff,
Would you agree with that?
I mean, if all that's true, I would say you would have to look
And
at
I'm
it
not
that way.
lying to you.
But my thing is, you know what I'm saying? If that's true, I don't know how I got there because I had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? The only time that I've been in there was when we bought insurance. So other than that, and then like this St. John's thing and where I worked at and all that, I've never worked at St. John's. I may have said it to my PO to buy some time or whatever, but I've never worked there. You know what I mean? Even when I got the application to work there, I never filled it out. You know what I'm saying? So if you looked on file,
So you did get an application for St.
I
John?
got it through Kathy's mom.
She gave you one.
I'm 100% sure she gave me one.
Okay.
And it's like she said that she's the cafeteria manager or something.
And what? It was Kathy Anderson.
Yeah, I'll give you her phone number right now.
Did you ever go there?
To St. John's?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And like her mom's number, because her mom lives in Florissant, was and it's like when me and Kathy were together, like when I first came home, me and Sherry kind of had our little problems, you know what I mean? And I grew up with Kathy, so I left Kathy, and I left Sherry and went over with Kathy, right? And that's like back when they had that really bad ice storm, when all the power went out. What year was that? I can't remember. But like I was living with Kathy in Ferguson for a minute, and we were at her mom's house in Florissant, back and forth, because all the power was out in Ferguson. And then, like, me and Sherry kind of started talking and working on things, so I left Kathy and went back with Sherry. You know what I mean? And so when I was with Kathy, Kathy's mom said that she was a kitchen manager. I'm 100% sure it was St. John's. She said she was kitchen manager at St. John's, and that did all the application, and she could get me a job working in the cafeteria up there. And so I may have told my PO, oh, I got a job working at St. John's, because when I was living with Kathy, I didn't have a job. You know what I mean? So other than that, that's probably where she even got that from. But I've never worked there. And the application she gave me, I would almost say that I didn't even turn it in. I don't even think I filled it out. But
Why would you do it? Why would you fill it out?
because I don't know. I just didn't even fill it out. And then
Lazy? Is that part of it?
somewhat, yeah, somewhat.
I ain't trying to,
No, I get-
disrespect
I mean,
you,
but-
you didn't really want a job yet?
No, it wasn't that. It was back then. It was just more of I wasn't really 100% sure that I was gonna stay with Kathy. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Oh, I got
if you're just hypothetically speaking,
Sure.
you're married. So if you didn't have a job and you were messing with another girl, and her parents was like, we can get you this job, this and that. Well, if you leave her, that job is almost kind of, now
job's
mom and
gone.
dad's looking like, you know what I mean? If
I understand that.
so it was more or less, I just never really, because I was married to Sherry at the time. We were just going through some things, so I knew basically the Kathy situation was just a place to stay, and it just kind of turned into a little more the little couple of months I was there, but I knew it wasn't gonna go any further than what it was right now.
So I asked you this before. Cleo didn't have insurance up there.
Okay.
I'm telling you, he doesn't. Melinda doesn't have insurance up there.
But you said that they asked them because they were on this list.
Because what happens is, see, I'm gonna tell you what, this would impress the hell out of you by looking at all the files that we have, and the files he kept, people that, in the beginning, we don't know why this happened, okay? So we're looking at every angle possible. One of it could be a disgruntled customer. Maybe somebody got in an accident, they're not covering it, they're pissed off, they come in there, do what happened. So, we're looking at all kinds of things. We're looking at all the files of everybody that had insurance, everybody that has insurance, and everybody that looked at having insurance. Hundreds of people, okay? So, call it what it is. Maybe it's a good thing for you, maybe it's a bad thing for you that, we talked to all these people, But everybody that we thought, this hothead, maybe he did it. Well, if the hothead who got in an accident, they didn't pay him very much for the car, he's got a little bit of history for assaults or, weapons charges or whatever, we'd look at him, well, hell, this guy could have done it. He was at work, or this guy was locked up at the time, or, whatever. This guy was in the hospital. Something that we can document, something we can say, this is what that person was at. Did that with each and every person we thought might be a suspect. Then we get this DNA hit on you. I do the same thing for you, but I can't. And this is what I was explaining to you earlier. And Paul, I don't want to leave here on bad terms with you. I don't think you're a thug. And I'm going to tell you, and I told you how I think it's in my mind and how I think this played out. I don't think you are a natural born killer. Okay, I don't. I think the freaking old boy manned up. I'm telling you that.
Alright, what you saying that, but I have nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? And you saying that you don't think I'm a thug and this
I
and
don't.
that. Okay, and that's fine, you know what I mean? Yeah, I made some mistakes when I was younger. You know, yeah, I wrote some bad checks, you know what I mean? But you talking about killing somebody, that's a totally different thing. I would never kill anybody. You know what I mean? I've never even shot anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had a gun before, but I've never even shot anybody.
Saying that you would never kill anybody, never shoot anybody. Yes, I carry a gun.
No, I said I've had one before.
Okay. And that gun stayed in one spot and you never moved it.
No, I'm not
That
saying
means you carried it, correct?
Okay.
Okay. I mean, let's get, cut the crap out of it.
Okay.
All right. Everybody's seen the old westerns and movies and stuff. They say if you're man enough to carry it, you better be man enough to use it.
You're right.
Okay. Now, what would happen if you pointed a gun at me?
You probably try to shoot me.
I would probably try to shoot you. Just like I'm sure if somebody pointed a gun at you or tried being
Okay, but I mean that's a totally different scenario because now you're talking about somebody you protecting your life. Now that's totally different. But just to go take somebody's life, you know what I mean? Just on
that'd be
that's
that
different.
would be an animal. That would be a thug. I told you I don't think you're a thug. Part of kind of like when you said you were 18. When people go in to do a robbery and they have a gun or a toy gun, if they have a toy gun, why are they using a toy gun? Because they're just trying to scare them. Okay?
Yeah,
Well, why'd you go when you didn't have any bullets?
Same thing. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
You know? Do you think everybody that walks into a place with a gun or a bomb or a make-believe bomb or whatever is going to kill everybody in the place? No. They just want to be taken seriously. If I walked in with a red, blue, and green super soaker water gun, I don't think I'd be taken very seriously.
Okay, well, okay, like you're saying all this. Now, what reason would I even have to hurt him? It don't even make sense.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
What makes sense about it?
Well, why would somebody hurt somebody else?
If they had some type of beef with him, or if they did something to him in the past, or something like. I mean, you know, there's reasons, but I've seen this guy one time in my life and buying insurance from him. So that's like you. So what you basically saying is like me going to McDonald's through a drive-through and seeing this person, and then
You're saying people never hurt somebody else that never met each other before?
I mean, there's people that do that, but I'm not none of those people.
Okay. That lady that you robbed when you were a kid,
Okay,
did you ever see her before?
no, but I robbed her. So, but
It kind of
I
answers your
wouldn't hurt
question.
her though.
That lady tried assaulting you?
Did she try assaulting me? No. So,
You're asking me why this guy would be hurt. Now I'm telling you, I mean, and I'm giving you explanations back. Maybe you're missing the point here. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a lot of weird things.
to all do it cut and dry, man. I haven't had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? For God's known reason why my DNA would be in his back pocket, which I don't feel it is, because there's no way in the world that it could be. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not calling you a liar, and I'm not calling whoever a liar.
That's
I'm just
right.
saying, from my point of view, there's no way in the world it could be in there. Just like there's no way in the world that DNA could be on me right now. So what I'm saying is just, everything is just like, I know you got a job to do or whatever, you know what I mean? And you say you're trying to eliminate all the people that's innocent
That's
or whatever.
exactly what I do.
Okay, but that's just like mind blowing me, because there's no way in the world that my DNA could be on him. And it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me, because you a person, why would you even rob a person that you buy insurance from. That don't even make sense. If you were gonna do a robbery, why wouldn't you just at least go like to a gas station? I mean, something where you at least that
I've
makes
seen
sense.
worse places robbed.
But okay, maybe somebody that's
Maybe people knew that this guy took money, cash payments.
Sherry made cash payments here before.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, I was never with her if she did that. I always thought that she paid them through a credit card.
She did both. And how I know that's because I pulled the records. And I'm gonna tell you what, credit cards don't match up to that day.
To the day that me and her both went in there.
To the day that he was killed. Yes. So that puts even more doubt. I'm sure the man washed his pants. I don't think he dry cleaned them, but I think he washed them.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And he's a businessman. You can't know other way how I can. Well, let me ask you this. Knowing everything we know now, knowing everything I told you about the DNA, and I asked you for a DNA sample before. Would you give me one so I can test to what we have now to make sure it's yours or not yours?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, you know what I mean? But it's just like, see, you saying that my DNA is there, you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, according to what the lab's saying.
Now you want to take some DNA from me, you know what I mean?
You know what, it's like this.
That makes me, well, what are you really going to do with the DNA that I give you? You see what I'm saying?
To compare it to. This is me standing in front of Paul White, I wasn't there when you got that DNA from DOC, was I?
No.
I wasn't there. Okay? Maybe they confused your DNA with the guy behind you. Or the guy in front of you.
Okay,
I don't know. Listen to me, Paul.
All right,
this
but
is
hear me
what I'm
out for
doing.
just 1 second. Everybody's seen the shows when they go in there and like a guy sitting at the table like, you want something to drink, here, and he drinks it and like, oh, now we got your fingerprints in. So now it's like, I know on guys, there's no possible way that my DNA could be in there. And now you want to take my DNA, so it's like now my mind's like, okay, now what are they really going to do with my DNA?
You can be a suspicious individual. I'm telling you right now. What's going to happen is, and you know as well as I do, there's numerous ways I can either get you to volunteer to get your DNAs, which I would hope you would do, but there's other ways for me to do it.
Okay.
You know, and that, however that DNA is obtained, will be sent to the lab. They'll say it was witnessed by me and Detective Wiseborn, and present it to the lab. That way they can't say, well, the guy in front of you was the one who actually gave the DNA sample. The guy behind you was the one who gave the DNA sample. We'd be using it as witnesses, saying this came out.
It would be to confirm or not confirm that sample.
And you're saying it ain't
The
yours
DOC
anyway.
sample.
You're saying it's impossible.
Right now, okay, they're saying, what the lab is saying, that the DNA located on the interior of his pants pocket is matching yours that was submitted into DOC. That's because it's in a system, okay? Everybody's DNA goes into a system, all right? It matched the DOC number, which is yours, okay? What we're asking for is if we take another sample, okay, we take that, he and I, to the lab, we submit it to them, they run it to make sure to verify that the same sample that we take from you matches the DOC sample and the sample that matches from the interior of his pants pocket.
Okay, now
That's to confirm.
who can I get to make sure that that's all y'all doing with the DNA though?
That's all.
What else can we do with it?
Man,
Crime scene's gone, dude.
That's already been analyzed. It's not like we can go wipe it on something. I mean, I understand your suspicions, okay?
because it don't make, because
Because
it's no way
TB
that my
does it
DNA
wrong.
can be there.
And-
You know what I
and
mean? That's
we-
why it doesn't
listen
make
to me,
sense.
it
to me.
is there. According to them right now, it is there. And it's not like on CSI where we can take your DNA or we can pull a hair out from you, open my trunk to my car, put it on some frickin' machine, and 30 seconds later I have an answer. That's total bull. It doesn't happen. It takes a minimum of 6 months to get DNA back.
Unless we ask them to put a rush on it,
Exactly.
they would do that. We could probably get it back maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
So the standard case in St. Louis County or the Missouri lab,
Missouri State,
Dude,
forget
it's-
it.
Highway Patrol, it's a year.
Well, look, I don't mind you taking my DNA, but I just want to know that it's the right thing to do before I do it. You know what I mean?
And it's like, Paul, I don't want you to think I'm threatening you by any means, but I'm gonna tell you what I could do, and it'll probably end up eventually happening anyway if you said no. I can obtain a search warrant, I can have a judge sign it, I mean, you, like we talked earlier about, your DNA is not gonna change, is it?
No.
Okay? It's not, if your DNA is what it is. That's why I'm not sweating the beginning part when you say no. That is your right to say no. I'm not gonna jump up and down and holler and scream and call you names and all that. That ain't my speed. I don't do that. You know, I'm never gonna take a step off the other side of the straight and narrow. All right, I'll do my job the way I'm supposed to do it. You tell me no, no. I go and you know what? If I have no probable cause, if a prosecutor believes me, if a judge believes me, if they want to give me a search warrant, that's what I'll do, and I'll track on back down here, and you know, say, Paul, we have to tie you down and stick a buckle swab in your mouth, and that's what we're going to have to do. You know, I'll get 10 midgets to jump up and down on you.
Right.
Okay, but I mean, that's the thing. It's not like I'm asking for head hair. You shave your head, you know. That ain't what happened, man. And you know what? I told you I'm here to prove you innocent. If you did, let's say the guy behind, let's say the minimum wage guy that works for the Department of Corrections right before you had a bad day and he mixed up the samples. Okay, do you think that's possible? Could that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what they do.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we don't even know how they do it.
I'm
Take
there
a
to
swab and swab your mouth and put it in the cup and put
Okay.
your sticker on it with your name on it.
Okay. And I don't know what they use for a chain of command on that. Chain of custody. Chain of command. Chain of custody for that. You know? But I can tell you this. What happens from here, I'd have you sign the form that I just signed refused on the other one. I'll fill out another one. I reach in my bag. I got a brand new buckle swab, never touched by human hands. You brush your top, you brush your bottom, brush your top, brush the bottom. You put it in a box. I put it in an evidence envelope. I take it from here straight to the St. Charles County lab. I hand deliver to them. There's no chance of me getting the guy before you, the guy after you. I have no other buckle swabs with me. Now I'm sure I can put my buckle swab in there. He ain't gonna put his. It's going straight from here to the lab.
I'm gonna ask my parents first and see what they say. That's
You
what
do that.
because it's just kind of just don't make sense to me right now.
And I understand that. But you know, in the meantime, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do too. You know, I understand that, right? Okay. So,
You got like a card or something?
I might have it with me. No, because I left my wallet in the locker. They wouldn't let me bring it in.
I've got one, but we need to check with them before we give it to you.
For real.
I mean, we couldn't even come in with that.
My name's real easy.
I'll write on the back of mine.
You work at the one on Sunville, right? Okay.
St. Charles PD.
Mhm.
My name's
We'll
real.
write that down. I mean, as long as
Let's
it's
just wait till he comes back. I'll give you a card if I can give you a card. My name's Step, Detective Step, just like you walk.
on the
Step,
step.
Step.
Okay.
And my phone number's even easier. You know, 949 is the St. Charles number.
Yeah, I know
right?
the number. Is it like
3330.
3330? Okay, 3330.
Yep, that's it. It's easy. Take a step, 3330. So it is what it is, Paul.
Yeah, it just not. It just don't make any sense to me. Cause I mean, that'll be like me getting robbed and then somebody come and tell you that your DNA was in my pocket. And you'll be like, the only time I ever seen Paul was when I interviewed him. So you just really, just like what I'm saying, the only time I ever even been around him was when we bought insurance, so it don't make sense to me.
You know? Well, and I would agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. Somebody's not telling the truth, okay? Somebody's not being honest. DNA just doesn't fly.
Right. That's right.
You know. And it's one of those things. I mean, I'd rather have DNA than a fingerprint any day. Any day of the week. Never lost a DNA case. I mean, I've had people lie about a DNA case and weren't honest to themselves or me or their families or whoever, and you show it to them, and everybody watches CSI. Matter of fact, everybody expects there to be DNA in a case nowadays.
All right.
They all expect it. If you ain't got my DNA, you ain't got me. Well, it kind of works the other way too. If we got your DNA, we got you. If it's your DNA. Which, you know what? Sometimes you get DNA, it's like 1 in 832 people. Well, that's nothing. You want 1 in a trillion. And if it's 1 in a trillion, dude, it's you.
All right.
Okay. So, I could what if all day. It's like I told you before, I got my theories. But, oh. So I got my theories.
No.
No, he said, yeah. I just had a piss. Sorry. Couldn't hold any longer.
I got my theories, but theories are like, anything else. I mean, they're a theory, they're not a fact.
All right. You right step on there.
Why don't we talk to him real quick? Paul, do you got any questions for us?
No, not really.
Well, just hold on a second. We're going to ask you to stay here a minute. Let's play devil's advocate here. Okay? All right? You're saying that the only time you've ever been there was that one time.
Right.
Okay? And that your DNA shouldn't be there because you had nothing to do with this. Okay? And I tell you, this is one of those kind of things that you kind of brushed over and you didn't really attack too much on was I told you Cleo's vehicle was there.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I'm not lying. You know as well as I do when I'm saying it. I'm being honest that, Cleo was using the Illinois tags on the back, and those tags came back to Melinda. You know that because he was living there with you at the time. Right or wrong?
Yeah, he was living with us.
Okay, and he had the car, and he had the Illinois tags on the back of it.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see him with a gun?
No.
Would it surprise you if I said he had a gun?
Yeah, because he wasn't really that type.
Okay. What do you mean he wasn't that type?
Like the thug type that you say, or just.
Well, you're not a thug type either, but you had a gun too.
Yeah, but just being around him, he's not even the fighting type, so I say. So I wouldn't.
Okay. Now, he's going to be talked to.
Okay.
And if he isn't already in custody, because he's got warrants out for him, Plus, I put him in the computers being warrant, so he's going to go to my holdover, and he's going to wait till we get there to talk to him. That being said, does he say he ever drove you up there?
No,
Sure about that?
I'm positive. Only time I ever been up there was when me and my wife got that insurance.
Okay, well, I know that's what you're saying. I'm just saying, asking you
Yeah,
what somebody else is going to say.
He would never. Why would he even say that?
Oh, I don't know. Why would your DNA be in his back pocket? That's the kind of world I'm living in right now, Paul. I'm trying to look at things. I'm trying to, I try to look at the good in people and try to believe them until I have something otherwise.
Okay.
Okay. And I see that.
Okay, so you don't believe me, but
I really
you not believing me doesn't
It ain't me that you have to convince.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm saying you not believing me. I'm not really even worried about convincing anybody because I know I didn't do it. But you not believing me, okay, you don't believe me. You know what I mean? People.
I didn't believe the Rams would win yesterday either.
I didn't either.
Okay, look what happened.
Right.
Okay. I'm convinced now.
Yeah.
I seen the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way it works, man. I mean, hell, maybe next week, maybe they'll win again. I don't know who they're playing, but you know what? It's the kind of guy I am. You know? Everything's just pointing that way. You can't, and I mean, I'm not hiding nothing from you. There's a few things I can tell you that I don't want you to know.
You don't want me to know.
Because if you would tell me, I mean, I want you to tell me. You know, I mean, there's certain things that, you know, it is what it is. Okay? Yep. Was I mean to you?
Nah, you wasn't mean to none of that. You was just telling me.
I mean, I was talking to you. Let's have a conversation. I mean, it's probably not a conversation you wanted to have today.
It's just surprising. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know why. You know what I mean? That's your reason why, I guess. But I told you why. Something. I can't. I would bet whatever on. You know what I mean? It just.
Well, you already bet you're out there. You lost that. You're out there. It's gone.
Wow.
You know. Would it surprise you if I got a murder warrant for you this week?
Would it surprise me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why? It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. Was that what you finna do?
Might. I don't
Okay,
know
well,
yet. I don't know yet, Paul.
It don't make sense to me. At all.
I mean, do I want to get it right now? I mean, you're not going anywhere for a while, right?
I'm not going nowhere till the end of next year. So you got, do what you feel like you need to do.
That's the thing. I'm not trying to punish you or threaten you or none of that stuff. I mean, you know what? I think that if I was in your position, I'd want to know what's happened to me. I'd like to know my fate. I'd like to know what I'm looking at. You know,
I understand it, but I haven't done anything, so it's like I'm not even remotely really worried about it. I haven't done anything, so it's like if I was sitting, if I'd done something, if I'd done whatever you're talking about, and I was sitting here, I would be like, so what happened if I'm not worried about it because I didn't do it, so it doesn't. I mean,
you know what? If roles were reversed, and I told you that little Mary down the street told me you did it,
okay,
that's a whole lot different than having a scientific report with your DNA in it, right? Which one do you think's stronger?
I guess the DNA would be stronger.
Right. And it's not that DNA is on a cup in the office, because you know what, a lot of businessmen will offer somebody a drink, a cup of coffee, a cigarette. They'll do that. It's a business environment. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've never stuck my hand in somebody's back pocket on a business endeavor. Ever. And I don't think, I won't say 100%, but 90% of the people in the courtroom have either done it either.
So, basically what you're saying right now is that if you wanted to push that issue, you know what I'm saying, and you tell everybody in the court that my DNA was found in this back pocket, you could basically just 90% of the time get me found guilty on something I didn't do.
No, I said 90% of the people would say they've never stuck their hand in somebody's pocket. I didn't say anything about 90% would find guilty.
No, but you just said 90. You just sat here and said I've never lost a DNA case.
I've never lost a DNA.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So, some straight
That's some reasonable
bullshit.
explanation.
Wow, that's crazy.
Paul, have you ever heard of a DNA case being lost?
Nah,
Okay. Okay, and I mean, I told you when I come here, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna blow steam up your rear end. I'm not gonna make up stuff. You know what? Somebody told me not too long ago that if you ain't willing for the opponent to look inside your file, then you ain't ready to go to court. There's not one thing in this case that I would be afraid to show anybody. Because you know what? It can all be backed up, it can all be substantiated, it's all there. It's not, you know, a confidential informant told me that Paul White told him that he did this, this, and this. That's nothing to do with that. Okay? It's a DNA case that led us to a beginning. And you take that beginning and you start following it step by step by step, and things make sense. Things look right. Things are right. Things can be found. Things can be answered. Which I would take that any day. My problem that I have with it, the whole thing, is why.
Why what?
Why did this have to happen?
I have no idea. I don't know what happened there. You saying that he's dead or whatever, okay. I mean, what?
You didn't see that in the news? You didn't see that when Melinda took you up to the police station?
I mean, that's what they say. Okay.
Okay,
They say,
but you keep saying it. I'm saying
okay,
like you
but what
have
I'm
no
saying
knowledge
is,
of this.
no, I'm not
You
saying
went
that
to
I
the
don't.
police
What I'm
station.
saying is,
You went to the police station with her. You talking to major case investigators, correct?
yeah, we talked to some guys.
Yeah. And I'm sure they said they're from the major case squad and they're investigating the homicide that happened on First Capitol.
Right.
Okay, I know from my years of being here, when major case goes someplace, they make an impression. They do. It's all over the news. I mean, it's all over town. Roadblocks were done. Posters were put up. I mean, you can't do anything else without us doing skywriting. Okay?
Right. So, but at the same time, when you get through with all the major case stuff, I didn't do this. And I don't know how in the world they would say my DNA's in there. Because the only time I've been in this office is when I bought insurance. And
you're saying, okay. And you didn't do anything funky with the man?
come on, man.
I mean, I have to ask.
You had, no,
I have to ask.
No.
Okay? You didn't stick your hand in his back pocket? I mean, you didn't, slip him a card with your name on it, call me later? I mean, Paul, it's not illegal. I mean, if that happened, it happened. You know? I don't know. I just know that you can't give an explanation why it's there. You're saying it's not there. I'm telling you, a lab report and the scientists say it's there. I'm saying that how are they going to know that Paul C. White, who lived in St. Charles, had a policy through the man? They don't have access to that.
Because I really didn't have a policy.
Well, your name was on a
I mean,
policy.
it was on the policy.
Okay. You were driver number 2. And your Monte Carlo was listed on there. I mean, how are they going to know that also Paul White's, by all extents and purposes, brother-in-law is driving past there twice, at the same time when gunshots are heard downstairs? It's you put all this stuff together. I mean, like I explained before, there's a time to lie, and there's a time to freaking, you know what?
It ain't no time to lie doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't lied to you, so it's like it's not making sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you saying that my DNA was found in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere in the world, because I've never even touched that man. You know what I mean? We were in there getting insurance, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him after that.
Where were you at when you got insurance?
What you mean?
Do you recall the office? Do you remember how it was set up or anything?
It was like me and Sherry they had 2 chairs right here, and he was sitting at his desk on the computer.
How many desks were in there? Do you remember?
Just There was one, and then he kept saying something about he's supposed to hire some more people to do something else in his office or something. He said he was planning on hiring some other people to do some other type of stuff in his office. Other than that, it was just like one, but I don't remember.
How long were you there for?
We might have been there for about 20 minutes. 20.
Let's talk about
Minutes at the
anything
longest.
other than insurance.
Did he talk about anything other than insurance? Just normal every day.
I mean, did he offer you a drink? I'm just.
No,
Did you use
I
the
don't-
restroom? Did you
No, I never. He didn't
make a
give us
phone
anything
call?
to drink.
Anything?
No,
Wondering what your experience was like?
just getting insurance and like he was cool. He didn't. I mean, he was basically like, I don't even think I had my car at that time. Or might have it. Yeah, I had my car. But he was like, he was just the normal guy. He didn't, you know what I mean? He wasn't mean or none of that. He was just selling insurance. A normal guy. I don't know.
So he's just a normal dude. He wasn't threatening. He had no problems with his business practices or never made a claim.
No, we never got any accidents or none of that. It was just, I mean, just like a person you bought insurance from, and that was that. He wasn't nobody. How do you explain it? It's just a normal guy. Just a
How did you end up going there? What made you go there?
She was like, I was with her, and she was like, well, she's going here to get insurance, so we just went over there and got some insurance. I didn't pick him or, I never really, passing by the place, you never really even pay any attention over there, but I guess she knew of him and went over there and got insurance from him.
All right. So, no questions.
I mean, this is like,
Oh, we got a couple of really hard, long days ahead of us. Okay.
all right, so look, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna call my mom.
Okay.
And let her know about all this and see what she says about that DNA thing. Because I want somebody to actually go with you to turn it in. You know what I mean? Because I just
Well,
want to
I'm
make
gonna
sure
tell you-
that's all
I'm
it
gonna tell you-
does. You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna tell you what. That's if you voluntarily do it. That's if I.
I'll volunteer.
Listen,
Look, if you ask him, can we use that phone right now? I'll call my mom. She said that she believes it's a good thing to do. I'll swap my DNA right now.
No. I think something else is in motion right now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you what. I have never, and nor I will ever, allow somebody who I take a DNA from escort me.
Oh, okay, I understand that.
Okay.
But let me ask, okay,
Listen,
but you promising me
I'm telling you,
that you not finna do nothing.
dude. Listen.
Come on with it then. Cause
Okay.
I'm not worried about
Listen,
it, but
it's like I explained to you before. If I framed the wrong guy, that means the guy who did do it's still running around out there.
all right,
Okay.
then I don't got no
I
problem
mean,
with it.
I'm not doing you dirty. Right? I mean, I'll
Believe
read
it or
you.
not, we do have consciences.
I understand that, but I mean it's just that
I understand.
like me telling you, you know what I'm saying, your DNA on me.
Man,
And then I'm
we
asking for your
understand
DNA,
more.
then
I understand
come
your
on now,
concern. I understand your concern. We do this every day, so we understand it more. We understand the process. We understand how it works. Okay. I mean, it's not like we're gonna go putting your DNA somewhere where it's not supposed to be or something like that. That crime machine's 3 years old. It's all cleaned out. There isn't even a business in there yet. It's empty as can be. Oh, thank goodness, that's gone in there yet, has it? I don't think so. Do they let you wear your hat like that?
This word?
Do they let you wear it to the side?
Oh, I just had it on. I didn't
No,
know.
but did they let you do that?
Nah, I mean, we just wear it when we're at work.
I mean,
Do that pen. Well, use this table behind you. Please.
Paul agrees to provide detectives with a DNA sample for comparison testing.
Now, how long is this gonna take?
Probably 4 to 6 weeks.
You gonna let me know?
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Put this in here. Lawyers, I don't care. Okay. I'm gonna take care of that in a second.
Is that it?
That's it.
Alright.
All right, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Good luck, Paul.
Paul White is arrested and charged with first-degree murder and first-degree robbery. His friend Cleo Hines is also arrested on the same charges. Prosecutors allege that Paul, desperate for money after suffering gambling losses, targeted Bob because he knew the insurance agent routinely carried large amounts of cash. They believe Paul and Cleo drove to Bob's office together, where Paul robbed and murdered Bob, while Cleo waited outside as the getaway driver. In August 2012, a jury finds Paul White guilty of first-degree murder and first-degree robbery. He is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder, plus a consecutive life sentence for the robbery. Cleo Hines later enters an Alford plea to second-degree murder and first-degree robbery. He receives 2 life sentences with the possibility of parole.